The Group Ups podcast, and it is a very, very special episode today because, as you can tell, I'm not in my bedroom in the UK. I am out here in Irvine, California, from the Blizzard offices. So for our first ever in-person Group Up podcast, I'm super excited. I hope you guys are excited, and let me introduce my guests because I'm sure they're excited too. So over here, this is also unusual because usually I'm talking about where their camera's positioned in the Discord call, but today, right next to me on the couch is my man Bogur. Bogur, what's up?
Yo, what's up, guys? Nice to meet you in person as well. That's pretty cool.
I know. And glowing as ever, next to him is Fareeha. Fareeha, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Awesome. And with me, joining me, I'm honored, Overwatch's premier tournament organizer and Pulse-Bomb whipper, it's Jay3.
Bald.
Bold. Okay.
Hello, chat. Small 3. Wait, ban that person.
Behave, chat, behave. We can see you right now. We've got a big monitor here that tells us exactly what you're saying.
Ban the guy that said CGI hair.
Wait, could you find that guy?
This is going to be half the podcast. We're going to point at people saying
Yeah, ban that
like
guy.
unhinged shit. Just ban that guy. We've got the devs right here, so if you say some bad shit, we can get your Battle.net account and get you banned right here. So just bear that in mind. Okay, guys. So it is an awesome time to be an Overwatch player. Season 9 has just dropped. We've been all playing it, and we've gotten to play some Overwatch here as well. It's been a lot of fun. So let's first hear from my guests about their general overall impressions on Season 9. So we'll start with Jay, actually, to prove his CGI hair is real. Jay, how have you been feeling about the new season?
So far, I've been feeling fantastic. I used to, before Season 8, or before Season 9, I used to play Overwatch, but get tired of 3 to 4 hours in. But now I feel like I could do Overwatch is in such a good spot where I feel like I could do those 10-hour streams again, and want to keep playing. So that's where I am right now.
That's cool. That's the most important part, I think, is that you're not feeling obliged. Because as streamers, we kind of have to.
Yeah, no. I feel like after what I used to do, 3 to 4 hours, I would get tired and didn't even want to play the game. So I kind of wanted to do variety. But now I feel like, because I love Overwatch, and now I feel like I could play more.
Awesome. More J3, I like it. Okay.
More J3.
We'll get into more detail in a moment, but again, we're just going to get the big general thoughts here. So, Fareeha, how about yourself?
The match quality in games has never been this consistent. I remember when, back in Overwatch 1, when we had the numbered SR, it's like the games that you would only get at 4200 and up are the games that you get every single game now. Everyone's in comms, they're trying their hearts out, and it's like people care again. And it's nice having that kind of consistency and that moment when you load into a game knowing that, okay, this can go either way and I have a say in it.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And of course, I know you're very excited about the Farah changes, so we're going to talk all about that. A little bit later, we're going to talk all about that. But first, Bogur.
I hate it. I'm going to be a hater. Season 9 sucks. Hans is broken. Mercy needs a nerf. Terrible stuff. No,
Mercy needs a nerf. You're done, bro. You're done. You're already on Twitter, Reddit.
Your
Chat's
account
about
keeps
to flood.
getting popping off.
Okay. So, jokes aside, I like Season 9. It's good. I like it. It's good. The only thing is that solo queues play against stacks a lot, and that's really annoying. But I like everything. I think balance-wise, pretty good. And I like, I like stacking with friends in GM. That's cool. But, when you're solo queue, it sucks. But I think it's the first positive Overwatch season in a long time. The devs didn't hear me, right? Yeah.
That's true. I mean, obviously, the shill accusations are going to be very strong today,
Yes.
but I do think that this is potentially one of the best balanced patches and changes seasons that they've probably ever put out.
True.
Especially in Overwatch 2, but probably for years in the history of Overwatch 1 as well. So
It's good content. There's a lot of good content right now. You
Yeah,
can
I
play
agree.
with friends. Yeah.
I agree.
Oh, it's not good content. I 5-stacked. Last time I 5-stacked, I went 4-13. I was still
Yep.
stuck in Masters.
Yeah, but that's because you stack with bad players. Just be better. It's a skill issue.
So you're saying I need new friends?
Yeah.
Wally's just
we
crying
can
in
stack.
front of
True.
me.
If we
Wally.
stack, we win every game, Jay. I promise you.
I don't know if I want a Lifeweaver one trick.
No, bro, I'm a Winston player. I have 70% win rate. I'm the GOAT, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's talk then some more detail. Before we went into Season 9, there was a lot of talk on social media and on YouTube videos with very over-exaggerated thumbnails that Overwatch was being dumbed down, that let's talk about the hitbox changes, that was going to kind of ruin the game and make it easy as hell.
Didn't
So-
Jay say the game was getting dumbed down?
Well, I was going to take him over to
I didn't
Mr.
say it was
J3.
getting dumbed down. So when I visually saw the hitbox changes, I didn't the day before the patch, there was a visual of how big everything was getting, and there was a soldier model, and I was like, what is this? And So I was hating on it, but then when I actually tried it, it feels a lot better. And I think I did say I think the health changes as well was a lazy thing, but I do feel like with the flow of the game and the new DPS passive, it's a lot better.
And it's, I don't think it's not like we're calling you out, even though we love to.
I am.
Yeah, we are. I don't think you were alone in that feeling. And I think, especially when you see those clips of like the hitboxes in the training range, it did feel...
Yeah, I feel like it's easier to like judge something, because I do it all the time without trying it. And when I actually did try it, it felt a lot better.
Right.
I do feel like some things can be fixed, but I think we are on the right path to, a better games. Like Widow. I think Widow can be changed.
And they did in the recent patch change Widowmaker a little bit. So
I haven't experienced that yet.
no, we haven't gotten to play too much since the recent patch. Obviously, we're out here, but
Thank God they nerfed Mercy again. I'm sorry.
Wait, did they?
They nerfed Mercy, yeah.
What did they
The
do?
projectile side.
They nerfed her.
Oh my god!
And it's
Yeah,
still
because
a nerf.
you could shoot over here and someone over there and it's a
Yeah.
headshot.
Yeah.
That's true.
Mercy player is absolutely crying right now. SKST's been depressed. While she's been here, she's just
She's in the house.
crying over Mercy. But that's the hit scan POV for Fareeha. How about you? How is the Farah projectile POV on the hitbox
Oh
changes?
wow! You know that feeling when you're playing your best ever game and you're just like hitting shots you never hit? That's every game now. But it's like it's a consistent manner and you still miss, right? The thing is, I think that people have a way of going into the training range and expecting the hitboxes to match one-to-one with what we see. It's never been that. Even if you go pre-patch and you look at Idiati's like gun, you can move like a whole head off of the target and that's a headshot. And there's a bunch of things, even with hit scan projectiles, that are more forgiving in the game. If you look at Roadhog Hook, oh my god, that thing, okay, try Roadhog Hook against a Tracer, this was even pre-patch. You move an entire Tracer over or above her, you still hit the hook.
Really?
Yeah.
Never even knew that.
Yeah.
I have
It's
Unsalted
massive.
Salt as my tank, usually playing Hog, and he, there's never a hook landing.
Is that why you like
This explains why you're losing. This
He
explains
was,
why you're
he was
losing
my
so
tank
much.
for that day.
This really tells a lot. I mean, I don't need any incentive to bring down the anti-hog propaganda. But Bogur, how about yourself? As the tank / life we remain.
I think people that complain about tank right now are cooked a bit. I think tank is good. I know, I like
Really?
it. I think it's good. I think Winston is good.
Salt always complains
Yeah,
that
'cause
tank
he's a
is the
Roadhog one
He
trick.
complains that
First, Salt
Tank is in
always
the worst position.
Salt always complains. Full
Yes.
stop. Second
That's
of all,
true.
he plays Roadhog, which is the worst tank right now.
true.
Like Reinhardt, Roadhog players are complaining the game is the worst, but they're playing the worst characters right now. So
Let them
what is
suffer.
the point? Let them cook. But Winston is fine. I think it's good. I think Sigma is nice. Ball players are eating well. Diva players are eating well. I think it's just you need to position a lot better because you can't take poke. A lot of people keep taking poke because they expect to get healed to max instantly, but they can't get healed to max anymore because of the DPS passive and the more health. So they take poke and they go in and they die. And it's just a skill issue.
I love the
Bogur
DPS
says
passive.
skill issue.
Yeah.
I think it's really good.
I think it's a fantastic. We're not. I feel like I'm not playing a useless class.
Yeah, I think DPS like one of the best right now. Like
Great.
before it's like one of the worst.
So there's a lot to unpack there, so
Yeah.
I want to unpack it each in turn. So let's start with the tank role since we brought that up and since Unsalted Salt is catching so many strays.
Like he deserves.
I think when let's talk about the health changes a little bit as well because I think when they were announced, myself and others were pretty skeptical at how kind of broad stroke the changes were. It was like everyone's got more health.
Yeah.
And of course that has exponential ramifications because some heroes benefit a lot more than others, and you never know how that's going to play out. I think it's actually come out really well overall. Like I think mostly it feels good, and the time to kill feels good. So there has been this discussion though around tank that once more tanks are the ones that suffer. They're getting discorded, and of course Zenyatta's gotten a little bit of a nerf, but not the Discord Orb. So Flats is probably crying about that one somewhere. Hello, Flats. So Discord Orb, the DPS passive, and tanks feel like they're under scrutiny again, they're under pressure. They're the one role whose job it is to take all the heat. I personally have played a good amount of tank, and I actually feel like Bogur that it's over-exaggerated. My hot take would be that tanks at the moment are what supports were like at the launch of Overwatch 2, which is that they're good, people just need to get used to them. Remember in the launch of Overwatch 2, I felt like a lot of support players, it was like a very different shift in play style, right? Support players had to adapt to a different way of playing, and it felt not great. And of course, on top of that, to compound, they didn't have a lot of new heroes, so I understand that there wasn't a lot of new content for them. But I think the idea that they were a weak role was a little bit over-exaggerated. And I think the same is happening with tank a little bit. Yes, Roadhog, Reinhardt maybe are not the best, but I think a lot of tanks are very viable and they get a lot of value. I feel like I can live a lot. I feel like I can make a lot of plays. You just have to learn to, when you're being tagged by the DPS passive, when you're on a Discord orb, now that they've had the 7-second change, you can just wait out the Discord orb, come back later, and you got to wait to be fully healed before you run in. So I think those are the
Counterplay.
Yeah, so go ahead, Fareeha. Talk to me about the counterplay, because I know this is something you're very keen on emphasizing.
Okay, this is going to be a little controversial. It's going to upset some people. But I think that these changes are weeding out the players who only know how to play poke, where you are a wall of flesh against another wall of flesh, and you're both unkillable, and the fight lasts 5 minutes, and you are only spared from your suffering when one of the Hanzos, somebody, hits a headshot, and then boom, everything just falls over, right? Crumbles. And the thing is, it's punishing this playstyle that was rewarded in previous seasons because with Discord, with Zen being so rampant, with things just exploding the way they could before, right? It was this scenario where people stopped playing in creative and the innovative, flanky kind of ways, and you more so got incentivized to stay with your team. And that's the thing that is being dismantled by these projectile changes, by the DPS passive, by the health boost, because you can take the initial burst of damage still, that's still even, but you have to know how to stop it. And you have to use intentionality to break through these standstills so that you can actually do something. And I think that's a really, really good step for the game because this means that, yeah, poke can still exist, but like brawl and dive can also exist now, and it's rewarding decision making and actual commitment to a play instead of just like accidentally shooting someone a mile away and like, oh, you got the kills, yay.
Yeah, I think that's a very reasonable way of summarizing it. Jay, do you agree with that? Do you feel like...
I can agree with it. How I feel like what tank is specifically, I've only played with a few tank players, but I feel like they don't understand, in my opinion, I guess everyone's opinion is different, the tank role.
Unsalted salt.
I'm not trying to call anyone out. I think the tank role is a role that's not supposed to, like, I feel like for a very long time it seemed like a stronger actually DPS with more health. Sometimes tank players have more damage than the DPS, but I feel like that's not their primary role. Their primary role is to go in, create space. You know, if you do get discorded, I think it was you that said it. If you're playing Devo or you're playing Ball and you get discorded, you can hide behind a wall, get that Discord orb off of you, and then go in because you can't get discorded again for 7 seconds. So then that's like your window to make a play. So I feel like. And plus Wrecking Ball, like, I don't know who said it, I think it was Karki or someone, but like, if you go in as Wrecking Ball and you slam, you have a lot of health, you have a lot of sustain, you're rolling, it might not look like you're doing a lot. It might look like, if you're on the team, it might look like your ball is just feeding and you're like, what is my ball doing? But then on the other team, you're like, get the ball, he's rolling away. So it's like two different things. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I think you're pointing
face.
to a good problem though, that a lot of tank players, the reason why I think they do get upset is that a lot of their value isn't always obvious to see, right?
Can we ban Jody? I see.
Jody's right there.
Jody's in chat right
She's
now
just
talking shit
giggling
to
with her
Jay3. She's
laptop,
literally just
facing
behind
us.
the camera.
Right there. Just
Right there.
I just
dropping heat.
want to say I get bullied by everyone, even Blizz staff.
It's true, guys. It's not exclusive to the Overwatch community. Everyone out here in Irvine knows Jay3's bald.
Wait, what?
So yeah, I think a lot of tank players, they feel like their role isn't as fun because it's much harder to tell when you're doing the right things. Like that is, I think, a fundamental core problem that Overwatch probably needs to address at some point in some way. I don't have an obvious answer how.
When
But
the
it's
enemy
really
team
hard
is
to
backing
know.
away, Morgan Freeman comes onto the mic and is like, space created.
Exactly. That would be great. I mean, yeah, that would be a great integration I would actually want to see beyond a John Cena. But yeah, Bogur, I want to ask you, as someone who obviously plays a lot of tank, and you've I'm sure heard no doubt from members of your community or people who come to you about, I play tank, and I think I'm making space, but it doesn't seem like my team is capitalizing, or I don't know if I'm doing the right thing or not. Do you feel like this is a fundamental problem we're watching to kind of get
listen,
around?
I really hate people that. Okay.
I hate people, yeah.
I hate people full stop.
Can we get
but
5 gifted for that?
Can we get 5 gifted? Yeah. Anyway, I really despise when people get new changes. Like when we get new changes in the game, like season 9, and people refuse to update the way they play the game, change it, and instead force down, like they force the same playstyle they had for years. It doesn't work, and then they complain that it doesn't work. It's like, just change how you play, change the heroes you play a bit, you know. Every character can't be meta forever. You know, you can't always play Hog. I can't always play Winston. Maybe it's time to play some Sigmas. Maybe it's time to play something else. You have so many choices, right? So I feel like it's a skill issue most of the time. I'll be honest. I never see the high-ranked tank players complain. Like the people that like KSA, Vistola, you know, Hawk and stuff, maybe. I don't know about,
complains all
no,
the
but I
time.
don't know about the NA people, you know. I know about EU, so I don't know. But I can't say Vistola, they're just grinding, still getting rank 1. They're playing Sigma, playing Diva, you know. They're running down, like, killing everything, winning the game. People that complain that they create space and team doesn't follow, skill issue again. Like, why are you creating space for people like Jay3 when they can't get any kills, bro? Just get the kills yourself, you know? You gotta lock in, right? So I think a lot of this complaining is exaggerated because people don't like changes, and when changes happen, they refuse to update the way they play, and then they complain about it everywhere, and everyone's like, oh, tank is so bad. Tank isn't that bad. Like, relax. Just play something else. Change your play style. It's fine.
I do feel like each character has a different play style.
Yes.
You can't play the same on Reinhardt as you would on Wrecking Ball or Winston. Also, I heard you complaining about one tricks.
One tricks?
Yeah, you were just saying like you have to do different characters.
Yeah.
So what do you think about one tricks?
I prefer a one trick than people that flex to multiple things.
I prefer a one trick to
You know
someone
what?
who counter swaps after one fight.
The reason why I prefer one tricks is because one trick, I know they've grinded this hero, they might be bad at it, but you know they have some understanding of it. But people that say they can play everything, I think these people are usually bad.
Well, I could play most of
Yeah,
the
but
DPS.
I'm not talking about you. You still have
Wow.
characters you're most comfortable on, right?
You're being nice for the camera, but
Okay,
off camera,
you suck, Jay. You suck.
There
Okay,
you go.
yeah,
That's the real
right.
Bogur.
Salt was carrying your ass, bro. You're the
4 and
reason why-
13. He wasn't carrying anything. He can't
was
even carry
trying.
himself out of bed.
But I prefer one tricks on my team, I'll be honest.
Really?
It depends. If it's a tank one trick, I think you lose the game. I think it's a DPS one trick, you can still win, and support one trick, you can still
But
win.
that speaks though that I think I'm trying to represent the tank players here. I'm trying to think what my boy Flats would be saying right now if he was on this couch.
Buffed Reinhardt.
Oh, he's
And
gonna be in the
I think
practice
this-
range for 4 hours.
That's true. He'd want a fire strike buff, pin buff. But I think what tank players, like what you've just illustrated there, is another frustration for tank players. Like, well, I can one trick as a DPS and be
Yeah.
fine. I can one trick as supporters and be fine. Why can't I play the tank I want to play and not be so hard punished by the game? So Jay, I know you're pretty anti one tricking, but do you have any sympathy for the tank players in particular?
No,
No.
I don't. I feel like, back to the one tricking, I feel like there's almost, there's 39 characters in the game right now. I feel like you should be able to play more than one character, at least 2
I
in
agree.
your own role.
I don't
There's
disagree
like
with
12 low tanks.
There's I
Yeah.
feel like you should at least know.
Tanks.
that. Yeah, but it's way easier to one trick on support and DPS. You can one trick like Zen, you can one trick Luce, you can one trick more and still win the game. But if you one trick Winston or Roadhog, the enemy team knows you get countered and you lose the game.
Well,
Nobody's gonna
okay.
go 5 things to counter a Junkrat. Nobody cares about that. You know?
Well, they would pick the fires and stuff, but still, it's
Maybe.
the focus doesn't come on you.
can
Even
still-
if they counter pick you, they're not
Yeah,
going to
but
focus you.
If
that
your
much.
Junkrat dies every fight, you can still win the game. But if your
That's true.
tank dies
That's
every
true.
fight, you can't win the game.
That's
right?
true.
Yeah.
So are you feeling a little bit more sympathy now, Jay?
No.
No, still not.
No.
Hey, Fareeha, what about you? Do you any stock in the feelings of the tank players?
Man, I feel like tanks have a disproportionate weight on their shoulders, and the majority of my games that feel like truly unwinnable, of like I simply don't have opportunities to do stuff, are always tank divs, and it's on some of them being boosted by the the poke. No. Like if you're up there playing Orisa, like
Fuck it. Go crazy.
no.
I do agree with you. I feel like some people are boosted.
Yeah, like
It's different. It's different hitting a rank on Orisa than it is hitting a rank on Diva Winston.
Yes.
Right.
yeah. Look, if you're playing like Winston or something, you need to learn like Sigma, and then you need to learn a rush tank and good. Like learn one of each, like one dive
I
tank.
was just gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, one
dive.
poke tank and one rush tank, and you're good to go, right? Yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah, I know. So Fareeha's already come with the spicy takes. I know you're already holding back some more spicy takes because you kind of called tank players boosted.
No,
I feel like
not
you-
all of them.
Oh, okay, so there are some, and you know, this podcast loves to shit on Orisa players, so that's a bingo card hit. But I feel like the next area I want to take it to now is supports. We've talked about tanks, we've talked about supports. We'll get to DPS in a
You
moment.
mean healers?
Oh, yeah. So
Okay.
I can hear him
So-
footsteps. He's coming.
I don't know what you mean healers.
So, I mean, on this podcast, usually we're accused of either tank propaganda or support propaganda, but now we've got the DPS propaganda in full effect. So, support play. I'll let Jay go off first. I know Fareeha's got her own takes, but Jay, you have been one of the most vocal advocates of the healer, not support, instead of the support, not healer. And
Sure.
right now, support players feel like their impact is way lower with this new patch. Like
Good.
With healing being so much worse.
Good.
Doesn't that hurt your healer, not support argument?
No, I feel like healers, not supports. I feel like healers have been playing a very broken role for a very long time, and yet when there is a nerf to them, they always cry. And I'm saying how it is, that supports have been broken. They do a lot of DPS. If I'm 1v1ing a support, most of the time as a DPS, I'm going to
support?
lose. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I'm just saying.
What do you
No,
mean a healer?
even as a tank, you could 1v like Kiri. Kiri is broken. She has a lot of.
Okay, listen. If you lose a 1v1 on tank against a Kiriko, you're just garbage.
I've seen you do that.
You've not seen me, dude. You've not seen me.
All
If
right,
it's
we'll
a-
stick to point. We'll stick to
Okay.
point. So
I feel like
DPS.
your primary thing as a support player should be healing. I've seen a lot of people DPS, and I don't think you should only DPS when your team is all full health. If you're in the middle of a fight and people need healing, you shouldn't be focusing on trying to kill the other.
That's a cook take, bro.
no,
That's a cook,
you
that's a
should
cook take.
be. Your support.
This isn't
your
World of
support-
Warcraft.
Your
It's a-
support to the team is that sleep
Nah.
dart, is that anti-nade, is that Susan. That's your support ability, but your
yeah.
primary thing should be healing.
You can't always rely on your team. If you have boner fart on your team and you heal ball
So
the
I
entire
can't
game,
rely on my team. So what? So what's the point of a team-based game?
bro. If you always rely on your team, you're never gonna climb. You need to be more solo. In a pro, listen. In pro setting, I agree with you.
Oh,
in
you're talking
solo-
about in ranked.
I'm talking
Okay.
about ranked. In solo queue, you can't rely on healing boner fart and him getting 5 kills every game. This isn't gonna happen. You need to be more oriented towards damage. In pro play, I agree with you. That is completely correct. Utility and healing, that is the main
That
focus.
is a
You shouldn't be
priority.
DPSing. But in solo queue, you want the experience to be consistent. And if you always heal people and you keep losing games because you're solo or duo queue, it feels bad. You need something to do, Don't you agree? Like in solo queue, you want to be more proactive.
I want my teammates to do their job.
Yeah, but you can't rely on teammates doing your job. Look at Lifeweaver, Lifeweaver.
Oh my
Exactly.
god!
Like, Lifeweaver
get to-
can get kills.
You still have PTSD with Lifeweaver,
But my
bro.
point is, you can heal bot, you can save them every fight, but still lose the game because you can't make the kills, because you rely on your teammates being decent.
This from the
That's
man
why
who
Lifeweaver
spent
is
like
so
10
rough
minutes
right now.
straight flaming
So
his
I agree
diamond
with Jay
teammates.
about
Yeah, I
it
did.
if it's
Yeah, I
like
did.
high elo or pro play. But on average, the average person playing the game, you can't consistently hope that your teammates are good enough that you pocket them and you win the game.
I have thoughts on this. So, I don't think going on the offensive versus going on the defensive are the same thing, nor are they valued equally. So, in the poke meta, being on the defensive was decidedly better because you're not putting yourself in danger and out of position to try to confirm kills. But I used to fence, and in fencing, there are like tiny millisecond differences between when the tip of your sword will like touch somewhere on the other person. And it's like these little microseconds of like flicks that you have to aim for, and it's always better to go on the offense. And I really think that in Overwatch, the most fun games are when you get to do that. Right, when you're pushing into them and you're using your ults first and you're trying to make those decisive plays, and being reactive is always worse. So like I've always hated the games where I have to keep a Mauga or a Roadhog up and I'm just heal botting and I have no choice but to do that because they're always critical, versus the games where I actually have a little bit of room to like edge my tank and my DPS and like keep them alive but just barely, and
Edge 'em, yeah,
and I like
edge 'em.
I go off and I kill 4 on Kiriko, like it's
That's
super
not.
fun.
That should not be a thing. You should not kill
But it's
4 as
solo
Kiri.
queue. But
I
it's solo
don't think
queue.
you can kill forward Kieran anymore, to be honest.
No,
with the
Kiriko
new
feels
buff.
awful in the new season
I think she
because
feels awful now.
her projectile
Well, I feel
sizes
like-
make it so that if you're aiming at her head, aiming at people's heads, it just hits their
Also,
gun
her
or their
healing
hand.
When you have
sucks
a
now.
when you have a Zenyatta throwing orbs the
Yeah,
size
okay,
of school
then, yeah,
buses,
I agree with
then
that.
I
I
think
agree that some
Kiri-
supports deal too much damage. I don't disagree with that. But I think dealing damage is fun. And second of all, who do you think climbs more in ranked in like plat or something? The guy that kills everyone or the guy that heal bots?
Well, I mean, in Plat it's a lot different.
Yeah, in diamond or in
Sorry.
fucking masters as
I
well.
don't, I don't know.
Okay.
So, but I mean, so many players are in plat. So, are you fine with them heal botting, or you want them to DPS as well?
Well, I feel like in plat, no offense, people.
Damn, it's over.
Offense is about to be made.
Offense taken.
I don't want to. Like tank players don't understand. They'll just stand in the open and take a lot of damage. They don't understand if you're taking damage or you have a Discord orb, go behind a wall. Like hide for a few seconds. Wait until your health goes fully up and then go.
So the support player in plat, what do you advocate? I'm solidifying Jay3's
you advocate
philosophical
to
stance.
support that
What do you
dodge,
advocate
bro.
for? Should they heal bot? Should they go for the DPSing?
I feel like they should heal.
They should
Even
heal
the
the tank that doesn't know how to play the
Well,
game.
no, I mean, to some extent, you should be I'm a very nice person. Be like, hey, tank player, you should stop feeding. Please,
You think what?
I can't
You
do
know the
more
answer.
healing
You know what
than
they're gonna
I can.
answer back, right? They're gonna instantly flame you, right? You know that. You know
Let's use
that for a
slurs.
fact.
I've never been flamed once.
There's no chance you never.
Okay, now this man's just straight up lying.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, are you at all convinced by the arguments made by Fareeha and Bogur that there's a value in the DPS support?
It's
I've
also
never said
fun.
there was you
What-
can't DPS. I feel like you should take care of your team first and
Totally.
then DPS
It
second.
should never come at the detriment. It should never be a
Sometimes
Mora
it
in the
should.
back line. Oh, okay.
Sometimes it should. Well, if your
'Cause,
teammate,
like-
if your teammate's 1 in 10, I'm not healing him. Let him die, bro. Let him go
Okay,
115.
let me
Well,
paint you a
then
picture.
you're gonna get complained
No, I'm
at.
gonna win the game.
It's a 4-round game on Junkertown.
Wait, on support when you're playing support because you're playing a broken role.
Yeah, okay, I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that.
Listen, okay, let me paint a picture. So you're on 4 rounds of Junkertown. Would you rather have the Cutico or the Baptiste on your team, or both teams? They both have 20k healing. Would you rather have the one that has 800 damage, or would you rather have the one that has 10,000?
10,000.
Well, if you have so you have 20k healing and 10,000 damage, and the other support has 800 damage and 20k healing.
Yeah,
I don't
same
think
amount of
I don't
healing.
think it would be. Let's.
I think the
bring
person that has
example
800
down. So like
DPS
10,000
Again,
damage,
MO in.
10,000 healing versus let's say 20,000 healing, 800 damage. I think that's a more fair.
I think that's more fair because if the
Yeah.
person has 800 and 20,000, this has 10,000, 20,000. I feel like that 800 damage should uninstall.
That's true.
I'm
That's
not-
true. Like that's
Yeah.
the worst player. But if
But if it's
would
like
you
even
take-
10,000,
if it's-
10,000.
the numbers are even, but they're split differently. Would you rather?
I would
take-
rather have the 20,000 healing.
You rather have the heal bot?
Yeah, I would rather have the
I think if you have
20,000 healing.
20,000 healing, you probably lose the game.
I don't think so.
I think
you
It's
so.
would-
the number itself is hypothetical. We're just trying to
I've
talk
had
about
many
what would you
games with
split.
20,000 healing on Life Viewer. It's so easy to do.
And we know you lost
lose
a
the
lot.
game.
We know you
but
lost a lot
lose
of
the
When you're
game.
playing Life Weaver, you deserve to lose.
No, it's not true.
Yes, you do.
But you want supports, healers to heal and heal and support
Wait.
the team, but then you don't like Life Weaver.
Well,
It's exactly-
I feel like I don't like Life Weaver. I feel like there's other other characters in the game. Those kits are a lot
Yeah,
better.
because they do more damage.
no.
Yes.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Kiriko does more damage. Zen does
I
more
would
damage.
rather have a Mercy on my team than a Life Weaver. Does Mercy do a lot of damage?
Yes.
You play Ash.
Nah, ain't no way.
Yes, Mercy
Well, I
does
play
more damage
Ash.
than Life Weaver.
I play Ash on certain maps,
And Mercy can damage boost.
and if I see a Mercy or someone locks Mercy, I go a character that the Mercy can pocket because it doesn't matter
Yes,
if I.
but
Okay,
yeah.
fellas. All right. So we're straying from the path of God here. So you would rather have the heal bot. You would rather have both of you would rather have the support doing the damage.
Yes.
Okay. So there's the split. That's what we come here for. We come here for the split.
You can feel it when they don't.
I think I would also rather have the damaging. I think there's nothing I dislike more when I'm playing tank than the Mercy Life Weaver duos or the Moira Mercies, like the non-utility having supports. So I think I also would advocate for a little bit of DPSing, but hey, Jay3's allowed his opinions, and this
No,
is
he's
an
not.
open.
ML7 agrees with me. They should heal.
Yeah, this is an open invitation. If you get
What do
into
you mean?
Jay3's games,
Can we get
you're allowed
ML7
to
in here
heal
to
bot.
confirm?
I talked to him before I came in here. I was like, "Hey, support or healer?" And he was like, "I personally think they should
You
heal."
can 100% believe exactly what he's
Everything
saying.
that Jay
Definitely,
says.
definitely.
Well, I don't look like a person that would lie.
All right.
You're my best friend.
Okay, so we've talked about tank, we've talked about support. Now let's go over to the DPS category. So you guys have already kind of alluded to that you like the DPS passive, you think it's effective. I'm going to take it to Bogur first, as the person who probably plays the least DPS out of the couch crew here. Bogur, DPS passive,
The
too
only-
much, DPS too strong.
The only thing I don't like is that I don't know when I'm being affected by it, right?
That's true. I feel
'Cause
like
it's really, I can't like determine how effective it is sometimes. I see that I'm getting healed less, but like it's kind of hard to determine, so that's kind of annoying. But think maybe from 20 to 15% would be fine. Like maybe it's too much for some characters because Kiriko barely heals right now, right? Like it's so. I think Kiriko went from one of the best to one of the worst ones right now. Like I don't think she's that good. Her cleanse is really good. Her ult is really good, but her damage she can't two-shot anymore and she can't heal that much. So. Maybe, but I think it's fine on tank. I don't think it's that bad. I think support players feel it a lot more because they heal and they can see that they're not healing as much, so that's annoying. But I like it. I like it because you can punish people, and I always thought that DPS was the worst role in the game.
True.
And it was so boring to play DPS. And I don't mind DPS being the strongest role right now. I think it is. Like Tracer, Ashe is really good. So I don't mind that. I like the game being changed. Yeah, let's go.
I agree with your.
Yeah,
there has to be some type
finally.
of There has to be some type of thing. So when you are getting like 20% less healing,
Yeah.
it should be visible.
Yeah, it
I
should
do
be.
agree
I
with
agree.
that. But I do also agree that DPS was a useless
I
role for a
agree.
very long time.
I agree. DPS I think was just absolutely boring and useless.
Yes, I felt like my impact on the game,
Absolutely.
tank and support were the best.
Yeah, I agree. I don't disagree with that.
I love the sort of like the venom, the hidden venom, and you were like, yeah, DPS is useless and boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah,
throwing shade over.
I never liked playing DPS. It was so boring for me to play DPS. Always.
It was so hard to play DPS knowing that Pharah was getting changed and also feeling that it was so useless. Like you didn't have the tools and the utility that the sports have to like keep themselves alive, so you always need that kind of help of a Mercy, right? Or someone to work with, someone to coordinate with, like a Zarya. And yeah, you could do so much more support.
And how have you found DPS now this season? Better? Feels
So
autonomous?
much better. Yeah.
I feel like I have a more. I have more impact on the game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Go on, Fareeha.
The health regen is so nice.
Right.
Like when I'm
Yeah.
playing Sombra or when I'm just off on a flank, it's so good. It's so good to not have to just like sit on the mini and wait.
Yeah.
That's because your healers aren't healing. That's all I'm saying.
We're gonna keep coming back
I'm
to
in the
this.
backline though.
I think in many ways now it's kind of come on the DPS to decide what the team is going to fight in many ways because the passive is so impactful in allowing a thing to die that we've gone from maybe your tank leading the engagement or sometimes your support utility deciding the engagement to now actually where your DPS is targeting is like a really important thing to be paying attention to for the rest of the team. So do you feel like you enjoy the role of being like kind of the initiator, the person who's deciding what's going to
Well,
happen?
I don't think I initiate still. I think my tank could go. So what I was doing with my OWCS team with who was my tank? Imam. He would say, hey, I'm going on this person, and then I would time up with him so I could get that 20% less healing with him. So that's been actually a lot of fun. I do feel like my DPS role it has been more impactful. I do feel like we have been not having a big impact on the game though.
Yeah.
I don't know if I answered your question.
No,
No, focus fire is so important now.
right.
Focus fire, yeah. Which I guess you don't get in plat or anything. Argument there.
Hey, don't look at me with that. I'm not plat.
I feel like you can just like shoot randomly and you apply it and everything, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's why I think Tracer's so good. You can just shoot like this and everyone gets applied.
Yeah.
And that is one thing that we should bring up about the DPS passive that doesn't really benefit all the DPS equally. Like
Yeah, that's true.
it clearly is much better for the ones who have a higher ammo count and fire rate than Hanzo, who always seems to get boned by the passives, whatever the DPS passive may be. So is there a workaround there? Are you happy with just the DPS passive not affecting everyone?
Well, I feel like it's different. Hanzo does a lot more damage per shot than Tracer does. But I feel like there could be some, I don't know, maybe like a damage threshold that once you do like 20 or 50 damage, it maybe applies.
Yeah.
That could be an option. I don't know what you guys feel.
I always said for Sombra's invis, there should be a damage threshold of like 5 damage for it to
Right.
kick in. Because sometimes a diva across the map is just like, she has no ammo, right? So she's just, no ammo count. She's just spraying every single corner and you get hit with like 0.2 damage. And then you come out and it's like,
That's true. Spy checking.
Yeah, I think that would definitely help with the whole, like, as a tank especially, not just getting like hit by one pellet and now 20% less healing.
It's not accidental, right?
Right, and you don't even know. Like it's impossible to know it's even triggered on you. So as we spoke about,
It also turrets trigger it as well,
Right.
right? Turrets, sim turrets,
20%?
Bogur turret. Yeah, it's the same thing. Who else has? I think someone. Yeah.
Bob.
Yeah, Bob also triggers
Bob.
it. Yeah. Bobo also makes it, yeah.
But as like a Pharah player, have you found the DPS passive? Like, does it kick in enough to be relevant, or because your damage comes in bursts, so it's harder for it to kind of stop the.
Yeah, but it's
It
also
does, but it
AoE.
makes duels easier. A lot easier. Like, how do I put this? This is not so much to do with the DPS passive, but it's to do with what we were talking about engaging and initiation. If I don't have a tank that's already calming and like actively trying to do stuff, what I'll try to say like is, okay, that Ashe is on high ground right now. I'm gonna concussive her. You charge up your punch. She goes into the wall. She's dead like that, and then you just roll through the point. And that's what I always love so much about her, is that she has these opportunities to displace people and do that kind of stuff that other heroes just can't, unless you're Ball, I guess. But yeah.
Well, talk to me a
Super
little
fun.
bit about that Pharah rework, because obviously this is something I know you've been waiting for a while, and there's been a lot of frustration around Pharah. Obviously, Bogur and I play in EU, so we face our fair share of angry birds in the Pharahs. Well, Echo's now a lot more prominent, but Pharah for sure has always been this problem character where on PC, on console, a Pharah in the skybox, especially with a Mercy Pocket, is just hella obnoxious, unkillable at times, and no one seems to be having fun. Is the new Pharah more fun? Does it fit that a little bit better?
I wanna say another take that might upset people. Skybox Pharah is the most NPC playstyle there is. And they give all the other Pharah players a bad name. Because you are not an active participant in your destiny. You are an annoyance, you are a gnat in the sky, you are rolling the dice, right, in a game that is meant to just be a complete gamble, right? And if you succeed, it's not because you did well or that you made a good decision. If you succeed, it was by fucking accident, because you cannot get replicatable success from that far out. And it's also so annoying for everybody else to deal with, because that sort of playstyle makes it so that the entire enemy team has to take their resources, has to take their heroes and switch them to dealing with you. And often you can't even kill them because they're so far away in the fall-offs and hit scans, right?
That's true.
And so it's passive and accidental for both sides, and that's not fun for anybody involved. So I think that them reworking or changing up Pharah so that she can't do that, so she can still get up there, but she can't stay up there forever, is a really, really, really good change. Because I always, I used to be a Pharah one trick, I'm branched out now, but I would play her into everything because I had this like sixth sense of satisfaction of, okay, well, there are 4 hit scans and a diva. I'm still gonna make it work. Or like, I wanna see what I can learn from it. I want to limit test and see how far I can push this, right? Because you still have opportunities. And so I would play her like Doomfist, and you would kind of use techs like, she slides down roofs without any sound. So you can get up there with like a full bar of fuel and you just wait. You wait for the Widowmaker to fire a shot, you wait for her to reload, and you can hear this sort of stuff. And that's when you go in, you pounce, and you use your knowledge of the game, and you track cooldowns, right? You're looking for the Ashe coach gun, right? You're looking for Helix to go out so he can't really burst you the way you can. And you go, right? And winning duels like that against your natural counters is just so fun, and it feels purposeful, and it feels intentional, not like the way, Skybox Pharah can be.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just noticing
Yeah.
the chat is noticing how these guys keep staring at the freaking comments. So chat, just ignore them. Ignore them if they.
They were saying I look like a statue, so I was like, I'm gonna look it up.
So you can dethaw a little bit. Jay,
Yeah.
do you kind of appreciate that as well as someone who's often on the receiving end of the Pharah pick? Have you?
Whoa!
I didn't say you're getting rolled or anything, although you are, but
What the? I just want to let you know I'm Masters 2.
you're talking to Masters 2 right now.
I blame Salt, but I think I do think even I agree with what you're saying, but even if the Pharah was staying high in the air and the hit scans don't really do that much damage, I do feel like even if they had a Mercy, that 20% reduction of healing does go a long way. And I do like how more Pharah is in the fight, not just being in the skybox stuff.
She has to put herself into risk, which is how it's always supposed to be.
Yeah, like I came from TF2. I don't know if you guys play TF2.
Oh
but
my God, yeah,
Soldier had
Soldier's
you
so
saw
fun.
Soldier flying in, and then he's in the
Market
fight.
gardening people, that's what I
Yeah.
do now. It's like I'll jet in, and then hit the rocket, and then do the rocket concussive combo, and then they're just deleted like that
Yeah,
before they can even see
I've
me.
been killed by that a lot.
So you have been on the receiving end of it.
Yes,
Okay, so
by
that's good.
Mooma out of all people.
So that's good. That's good that you guys have kind of enjoyed the Fire rework. Is there a character or two that you feel have been outliers in a problematic way? I know Zenyatta has been one source of ire, and we've seen where the new patch has kind of reduced his HP. Let's start with him. Is that enough, Bogur? Do you think that the HP nerf is going to be good?
I think Zen isn't that OP in pro play. I think he's like a pop stomper, right? Because you can just pick him and like kill stuff and heal. The thing about Zen is like he can heal at the same time as dealing damage and damage boosting with Discord, because Discord is like kind of like damage boost, and all three things at once is like way too much. So I don't like that about Zen. I like the decrease in HP because 275 was too much. What else did they do to Zen?
Hitbox changes. Did you say that?
I think the kick kicks
The
left.
kick,
The
not
kick.
left.
They
Yeah.
changed the kick.
Yeah, but his balls are the size of Jupiter, which sounds funny, but...
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Pause.
The balls are
Pause.
massive, big balls, right? So I don't like that. I think I like the hitbox changes of the characters, but I think some characters have way too large of like hitbox on the shot, so Zen is one of them. But I think Zen is problematic in ranked, and it's really annoying to play against. But I like the Discord change, and I think a lot of people aren't used to playing against the new Discord, because Zen wasn't as meta, and now that he is meta, people aren't used to, you know... Okay, so I was talking to Dante, for example. He explained to me, like, you can play Zarya into Zen, and you can bubble the Discord, and you can't get Discord for 7 seconds. You can just run it down afterwards, right? It's really strong as a concept, and you cannot get applied the DPS passive as well. So I feel like there's ways to counter the Zen. I don't think he's as crazy after the nerf. So I think it's fine. I think problematic characters, if I have to name one, is Tracer. I think Tracer is like way too crazy right now.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
sorry.
we'll just put a pin in that for a second. Any
Yeah.
thoughts on Zen first from either of you two?
You want to go first?
Nah, you go.
I think I've only played Faceit that one day, but in that team setting, Zen was very, very strong.
Was he?
Yeah, it was mostly like Zen Lucio, whereas like the other time, like Karki would go Moira.
Okay.
So I
Maybe.
think Zen is very.
But I feel like with dive and pro setting, depending on the map, it's map dependent. I feel
Yeah.
like.
But
And did you find him to be like obnoxious, uncounterable, or was he fine?
I feel like if you get the surprise on him as a Tracer player, you can kill him. But like most of the time, you know, he'll shoot like, you know, a mile away from you and you still get hit. But yeah, no, he was. If he gets help and he gets peel, you can't kill him.
Right.
Yeah, that's why.
So I do feel like the less health
Yeah.
does. I haven't played it yet. I have I'm more of the person that says like, I see these changes and I'm like, oh, I don't like them. Then I actually play it. I'm like, oh, okay, it's not that bad. So
You're React Andy.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No, I think it's good though.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. For you, no strong thoughts on the Zen change, or the need for Zen to change.
Yeah, he's busted.
He's busted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to elaborate
It's,
on that?
it's good changes. Yeah.
Good changes.
Good changes. Yeah,
changes.
that's cool stuff.
W changes.
Why many words when few words do trick?
That's true. Few words. More than a few words. No, I do think that his presence is quite oppressive. Like especially for tank players. Like I know we've discussed already that you should LOS it, but it definitely feels like a world of difference when there's a Zen in the lobby versus when there's no
Yeah,
Zen
for
in the
sure.
lobby. Like
Oh
there's
my
a lot
God, yeah.
more you can do when you're a tank when there isn't a Zen in the lobby.
Especially as a tank player, it feels really different, right?
Yeah.
If there's a Zen in the lobby, it can be hell on earth playing against that.
You explode.
Yeah.
And that's also why I think characters like Roadhog, Reinhardt have suffered, because they're kind of the ones who kind of do get beat down a lot by Zenyatta, where he just kind of stays really far away, pummels the damage on them.
Reinhardt's lived a good life. He's lived a long.
It's time to retire. Send him to the farm. Send him to the farm.
farm.
I mean, there was that clip I saw of LH Cloudy where it's
There
like
you go.
against the Baptiste Zenyatta, and like the window pops, he's trying to run through his like shield, and his HP just 1 second and it was
No.
gone.
It's so funny.
Oh my,
Like
I haven't seen that.
disappeared.
Wait, he got discorded in the windowed?
So he
Like-
was like right next to in front of this window. It's like the window pops, he's right here, he's being sped boost towards it.
Yeah.
And like just his full shield, basically, you just see it go. Like I had to watch it 0.25 to even see what happened, because it was like crack, dead.
It's like he disconnected.
Was he discorded after?
He
I
just,
don't
yeah, he was
Oh,
discorded.
I feel like you should die. At
No,
that
but
point
you
now.
don't understand. Like the annoying thing about Tank is like when playing against Bap and Bap just pops a window in front of you. You have nowhere to go, right? And like you
Well,
just.
that's an
die.
ultimate.
Yeah, but you shouldn't
This man's
disconnect from the
defending some
server.
defending supports right now. I want to put it on record.
Well, yeah, it's an ultimate
Yeah,
ability.
but like
I feel
it's
like
different. Like when you're playing tank, like and you pop a window just deals so much damage. You just instantly die, especially with Discord orb. A Reinhardt
Well-
has a shield when down 1,600 HP, and Rein has 700 or whatever HP, right? And he has armor. They honestly think you should be able to deal over 2k damage in like 0.5 seconds.
Well,
The actual strategy would have been for the Reinhardt to turn around for about 20 frames and then come back. And then when the shield breaks for him,
see.
turn around again so that he doesn't
yeah,
get
but he
headshot.
doesn't. You don't.
It's
You
a
haven't
skill
seen the.
issue.
You haven't seen the clip.
You're-
You don't
my
have
goodness.
that.
Oh my
you
goodness.
should be able to go into a team fight at your rank and be like, hey, okay, they have back window. Watch out for next fight, and you should play around that.
You haven't seen the clip. You
No,
don't understand.
listen.
What, you haven't seen the clip. It's like he literally pressed Alt F4. Like he was gone instantly. There was no chance for him to react. Yeah.
So I do think, I mean, this is the tank divide here, but I do think that is a problematic area. I do think that Discord is a lot more palatable when Zen is killable, right? Like if you can kill the Zen, you can say, okay, well, glass cannon, we delete him, that's fine. That's the risk and reward, the payoff of playing Zenyatta. But I do think the 275 was a bit extreme. I'm glad they're nerfing the kick
If
as well.
somebody sends the link, can we open it? Oh, okay.
Sure.
Can somebody send the link to the clip? I would love to watch it.
Yeah, chat, we might be able to pull up the clip so you have context, and Jay
Yeah.
and Fareeha might be able to watch it as
Ooh,
well.
okay.
Oh,
The only thing that went to my mind when you were describing that was like, have you seen XQC play Reinhardt on like Kings Row?
Yeah,
and he
that's
got
funny,
slammed
yeah.
stunned? Like,
that's
That
the
was
thing.
fun.
Back in the day, it was like you're getting stun locked. I think that's the clip. Yeah, that's the clip.
I think that's
yeah,
the clip
that is
there.
the
But
but
clip.
Mari.
notice how it says no more one shots. That's not a one shot.
I
Okay,
mean,
just
wait
call it-
a
just wait
minute.
until the
Once
clip
our
and then-
lovely production help here will pull up that clip. We'll, in the meantime, is there any other aspects of Zenyatta that you want to flag up? You're fine with these changes?
David should be able to eat Discord Orb. She just takes the ability away from him. Just,
Oh, that's weird though.
That is gonna be weird.
No,
'cause, I mean, Discord is instant.
So what? He
nice.
doesn't have Discord or
Can you-
it's like a reverse. Like he loses it for 7 seconds instead of like applying it for 7 seconds.
He's just gone. It's
she can
no
eat
longer
Harmony
Discord.
too. Just eat all the balls.
Yeah, I
Bro,
think.
what I don't understand is people are complaining that he died so fast. It's a window, bro, and a Discord orb.
Bro,
We'll get to it. We'll get to
Nah,
it.
man.
Is there any sort of philosophical things you want to explain?
about Zen.
Yeah.
I think so. Zen is supposed to be a glass cannon, right?
Yeah.
But he's just a cannon right now. That's the issue. So I think Zen shouldn't have so much HP.
Okay, here we go. We got the clip ready. So, production, let us know when the clip is visible.
Oh, this.
Is it good?
Yes.
Okay, here we go, guys. We're gonna watch the clip now. So I'll narrate. Go ahead, hit play. So there's Cloudy, full shield.
They want to rush it.
Full shield. His
It
shield.
was.
Doesn't matter.
Now he rushes.
No, but
Boom.
No, but you like it does instantly.
His shield was at 200 when they
But
popped
it
window.
does- that's 700 damage.
No. You described it as he had full
He doesn't have
shield.
Discord on.
Yeah,
You-
one more,
it's
please.
a-
One more time on the
You
clip,
described
please.
it as he has full shield and they windowed. That sounds a little crazy.
But he doesn't have a Discord on him.
There's a clip.
Bro.
There's a clip that's from the POV of the Lucio as well. That's actually great to see how quickly he dies. I don't know if Jody knows where it
Bro,
is.
what are
if
you
could pull
talking
it
about?
up.
Look, full shield. No. Let's break
no
it down.
ability should kill you this fast.
You have no shield and you're standing in front of
No
a window as a
ability-
big. Look.
no.
That's like
200, 150
10 seconds
shield.
of an approach.
So,
150
can we get that,
shield.
the one from Twitter from Flipper? Can we get that clip? Because that shows the POV of the Lucio as well, from behind. Reinhardt.
You have 150 shield and a window gets popped in front of you. No offense, you should die.
It's the in 0.2 seconds, nothing should deal 700 damage.
You're shooting through a window that has 2 times damage amplifier.
Exactly, that's the issue.
So that's not a Reinhardt thing. That should be the window thing.
Yes.
Yeah, the Twitter
I'm
link
just saying,
should be safe.
I'm
We can pull
saying
it up.
window I never liked window as an ability. It's like insta value and deals
But-
so much damage.
Okay. So this is what we're looking at. What is this?
No, there's going to be a clip coming in a second. Hopefully, if we can get that clip. Just give me a thumbs up or thumbs down if we are able to get that clip.
Trying to find in chat.
I think a red
It was from
name-
Twitter,
I
from
think it's from
hash,
Twitter.
GP hash. I just posted it there earlier. Maud, if you could please help
I
out and get the
I
clip
don't
again.
disagree with you that much. I'm kind of memeing, but I still
That's the one,
think
the
that
one from
windows
Flipper
should
there
not
from
deal this
Ilya.
much damage.
Alright, let me pull it up.
Yeah,
I
sure.
think dealing 700 damage in an instant.
Well,
on-
you have Sojourn shooting at you. You have a
yeah,
Baptiste
but I just
shooting
I
at
just
you.
think windows and ultimate is just cooked. That's my opinion.
I don't agree.
'Cause
I
you can-
actually think Baptiste is really overtuned right now.
Yeah.
Well, immortality also shouldn't be in the game.
Yeah,
Well, his shots are
I think like he
insane.
has so many things plus window. It's like okay, cool.
I'm
you know-
one-clipping people as Baptiste. Fareeha. Something's
yeah.
wrong.
I see. That's what I'm talking about. Supports should not do as much damage as DPS. I'm sorry.
So you kind of an advocate of like maybe just pulling down their damage numbers?
If you pull down their damage numbers and kept their healing the same, I would feel like that would be a better thing to do. Yes.
I just feel like Windows should not double
Oh,
damage.
this is a great clip. So once we can show this on screen, it would be.
They also made Windows.
Here we go. So here we go.
Yes.
Can we now have this on screen? You guys are gonna see the POV from the Lucio this time. So there's Cloudy. Blink and you miss it. You're gonna have to play this at 0.25 for us to really see the.
Look at him.
The
well,
moments.
look. If you actually look at it, well, if you can pause.
Can you play it at 0.25? Can you play it at 0.25? There
Look
should
at
be a
it.
setting that lets you do that.
It looks
on
like
the
he
Twitter
got
side.
railed. The Sojourns.
So here we go. So there you go. The shield break, bang. Shield breaks.
This
dead.
is slow down.
This
by
is
the way.
0.25 seconds
Well, look,
speed.
he's shooting. It looks like he gets railed. A rail to the body does.
Look at his HP bar at the top as well. Just watch his HP bar at the top. So there's shield breaks, HP deleted.
Yeah. There's a
no,
BAP there. The
No.
Ram's not shooting him. The BAP's there. The Sojourn's basically right-clicked him.
And I want to point out that there's a Moira trying to call him as well. So that is the most.
You're not gonna
useless-
heal that damage.
That's the
You're
most
not.
useless
No.
call of all time. If you ever felt like you weren't loved or needed, just imagine what it was like to be that Cole
I
Essence.
feel like if you want tank players to not be like DPS-oriented characters, you should not die this fast on tank.
But they're using ults, bro.
Yeah, but no ult should. Even Diva Bomb takes like a few
is there
seconds until it
counterplay to that ult?
explodes.
Here's the question: is there counterplay to that
Like
ult?
your counterplay in that situation as
let's let Jay.
Okay.
Let's let Jay. Jay, do you feel
What were they
fairly?
running? Lucio Moira? No, there's no counterplay.
Right.
There's none.
This is scrims, isn't it? Or is this ranked?
I think it was ranked.
Okay, it's ranked.
Suzu? If you Suzu him,
No,
it
you
cleanses-
can't Suzu that. You still die.
No, Suzu.
No,
Suzu
no.
saves-
You'd have to preemptively Suzu because the reaction time to that was.
Well, I mean,
There's
yeah,
no
you
time
would
to
probably
react.
as soon as you hear that window in front of you, you would probably have to Suzu, and he would have to get past this, like the window. But like, that is, I'm sorry, but that's an ultimate ability, and you should die.
You
when,
shouldn't.
when you classified the shield was full health, I was like, okay, that seems like a little broken because it went
Okay,
from
it's not full health.
It was
Yeah,
150.
okay, you're right, you're right
No
about that.
shield, he dies.
Yes. Okay. Hyperbole there, but okay, but there is no counterplay because all you can do on Ryan is Ryan sucks. First of all, let's get that
True.
true. Like, okay, if it was any other tank, you wouldn't die there. If it was Diva, Sigma, whatever.
Well,
right? Like,
Diva defense mage.
yeah, or Sigma
Yeah.
Grasp or like Ramatra block, you maybe
God,
would
could
still
you imagine
die.
how
to be
much
honest.
health Sigma
But
would
my
get from
point
this?
is,
Oh, no, yeah.
in that situation, as a Reinhardt player, you either go in against that comp or you do nothing and still lose. So if you go in, you get windowed and die. If you don't go in, you die. So what do you do? I think that's more of an issue with Reinhardt, to be honest. At the
Yeah,
end of
this
the day.
illustrates well what we were talking about
I'm not
earlier about
taking
the
it as
Reinhardt
seriously.
problem.
I don't disagree with you, Jay, right? But I still think it's really funny, and I don't think you should die this fast.
I feel like as much as I hate supports, aka healers, that he should have died.
Every time he says supports, like a little joy, a little tear of joy comes out of every
Well, I
support
don't want to
player.
defend supports. I'm going to call them healers for now. I can't.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
can't call them
This is what I
supports.
mean.
I don't defend healers, but if that special case right there, no, he deserved it.
And you know, I'm also being facetious bringing it up. And
Yeah.
thank you so much, production, by
Thank
the way,
you.
for
Thank you.
facilitating all that. Thank you so much. And I'm being a bit facetious bringing it up because we have a tendency in the Watch community to look at like extreme clips to talk about balance.
It
where-
doesn't happen often. It's not that
that's a rare.
Yeah,
that's
I
a rare
agree,
thing.
I agree.
That's a
don't
rare
disagree.
occurrence,
It's
and like
funny.
everyone
For
happens to be
production,
target focusing. It's also clearly a very good high elo match in the sense that he immediately focused down the Reinhardt, like maybe in a different context in plat.
It's
maybe
also
they
high
ignored him.
elo, right?
That's
So
what I'm
it
saying.
was like,
So
yeah.
they focused him down really well. But Fareeha, do you have anything you want to flag up? Because these clips, while not, I don't think they're good to balance off of. They can point to things that are problematic, and I think it speaks to potentially Reinhardt's weakness right now. Why he doesn't work is that just to get there, he has to get there just to do anything, and he can't.
I don't know. Sometimes you just explode.
I think it's just a Reinhardt issue. Like, because all the modern tanks, like you can Matrix, you can jump away with Winston. I even think with Winston you can like maybe.
I also feel the problem with that clip is that like when you're fighting on that point, he started as far away as you possibly could, and he had to waste all that shield to get to him. And
It's just an issue with Ryan, I'll be honest. Because other tanks can like get closer with Matrix, with Sigma Grasp,
Well, that's you
I'll
all play
play
Overwatch.
Overwatch.
Hey, welcome to play
Well, then
Overwatch.
I think that's just an issue with being a one trick. Then
Yeah, I agree. I don't disagree with that. Yeah, I agree with
I
that.
We're back to the full circles with J3. The J3 bingo card. We have a bingo card for the normal squad of flats, freedom, Samita. We need a J3 bingo card, one trick hate, and support not or healer not support.
I don't disagree. Like, if you're playing against Zen Baptiste and Reinhardt, sorry, Cloudy, you're probably throwing your own game, you know? Like Cloudy's an exception because he's extremely good, but even he gave up playing Reinhardt
Okay,
right now.
we'll move on from that issue now.
Yeah.
Because the idea of that was to flag up potentially problematic characters.
Yeah.
We've kind of done two there. We've done Zenyatta and potentially Reinhardt just being a bit out of date, which seems to perpetually be the problem with him. Maybe Reinhardt rework needed in the future at some point.
I don't like the idea of reworking him because like his playstyle is so like it's so fun for people. I think like reworking him is gonna push
Well, it doesn't
away.
have to be a rework in the sense that he's completely different, but it could be like, the Pharah rework, which is not a huge thing, but it's changing the emphasis and makes them more modernized.
Reinhardt, can you turn now?
I feel like to each map, there's characters that are better
Yes.
for that map. You can't always force a one trick to play on
Yeah.
the map that's good. Like if you
Bingo.
go like Cloudy, he probably plays so much Reinhardt, he knows how to do it on Gibraltar. But personally, me on Gibraltar, I would rather have like a Winston or something that could take high ground really easy or Diva.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want a Reinhardt.
One of
I
the
agree.
hottest takes I have is that it's impossible in a game with, what are we on, 39 heroes now?
Right.
Yeah.
39 heroes for all of them to be equally viable all the time, right? I think that map or game mode dependent balancing is really, really good because there's certain places where, like Gibraltar, right, where you would want to run a Diva or a Winston, and it's just a natural advantage, and that's really good actually. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we come back to where we started, which is that it's one tricking is not available to tanks, right? It's not really something they can viably do, or they just have to accept a loss on
Not
a
even
certain-
just on tanks. I feel like every role.
I mean, I just know you hate one tricking, but
Yeah, I hate one trick.
You hate
I'm
one
sorry,
tricking.
but
okay. So any other characters you guys want to flag up as like
Tracer.
potentially problematic? Tracer. How do you feel, Jay? You're the Tracer player.
let's
Barely.
have fun,
If-
bro.
we're using the term
Let's have
loosely.
fun.
Using
I don't
the
think
term
it's
loosely.
Tracer that's the problem.
I think it's the
I think it's the 20%. Like we could just apply it on everyone. And
Okay,
also,
maybe.
also Ball's really strong.
Tracer is stronger than Bull.
Ooh, I don't-
Tracer is S tier on every tier list from everyone.
Well,
Everyone-
yeah, because I feel like the what's running right now is Ball, Tracer, and then you have Zen with Tracer, Discord Orb, go on the target. I think.
You
it's-
don't have to play a Zen to be OP with Tracer.
Is
Well, no,
there-
right now there's a lot of characters that are viable.
Tracer
with
is lobby admin right now.
I'm gonna
Good.
assist J3.
No.
I'm gonna assist J3 here a little
Good.
bit. I think most people would argue that Tracer's potentially the hardest character in Overwatch. Does that mean she should be allowed to be the best character in Overwatch?
You can get value in Tracer right now without being too good on her.
You think it's too easy
That's
to get
not
value?
true. I don't think so.
I think it's true.
I feel like if you get thrown into a game, on
No, but
Tracer-
you can't. It's not about me. I'm talking about Plat and Diamond.
Well, I'm
Like,
saying, if
I-
they-
I've
can't-
seen
can't
Tracers with, like-
I can't compare against Kevster and Dante over there. You know, obviously.
I'm just saying, it's like Genji. I don't know how to play Genji, but if you're really good at like,
But Genji's not as strong as Tracer.
I've seen some Tracer players with like the blink management of like a crayon eater, and it just
whoa,
Just name him. Just name him J3. Just call him J3.
my Tracer. Okay, my pulse bomb's okay, but my Tracer's clean.
It's true. It's true. We meme on him, but I played against the J3 Tracer. It slaps.
But like, you know, the kind of Tracer that like recalls and has 0 blinks and then still like just goes in balls deep. No fear.
Tra-
Like, I'm getting one clipped by those Tracers,
Tracer
and it's
is
like,
so
what is
strong right now.
happening? Yeah.
Tracer does
So
much
where do
damage.
you feel like she needs to be pulled back then?
I wouldn't mind
She
if
did
she
get
dealt-
pulled back.
I wouldn't mind if she dealt less damage,
That's
but
true.
her pulse bomb was more useful because I think her pulse kind of useless right now.
Well, I don't know why you're
I-
high-fiving him, because no matter how much damage it does, it ain't doing damage to you.
It doesn't do much damage from on the floor, you know?
I
the
actually,
buff he needs,
I
the
actually
floor
compared
bomb.
my pulse bomb rate to like a pro. I actually have like 5% better.
Keep comparing to Cloudy, bro.
No, that's not true. I remember comparing it to someone, and theirs was like 45, and mine was actually 50. So
Okay, my
listen,
bad.
and at this point, I miss for
Yeah, but you
content.
play in Masters, he plays in Champion.
Yeah. Masters, we mean
He's
diamond.
Diamond.
because I'm unsalted, so I'm still
yeah.
staying with that.
Alright.
Okay,
They're bad
so
at
you,
that.
so we want
Jay-
to flag up.
No, no, sorry.
Yes, you're gonna roast
I was
someone
gonna
in
say
chat.
Jay will never beat
You're
the
the
worst
worst
tracer
tracer.
player
True.
allegations.
Mob
Mate,
that guy, mob
hey,
this
but
guy,
you know
mob
what?
this one.
I might,
VIP
I
right
might not
now.
land any pulse bombs, but at least I'm still in top 500.
Oh.
No, not right now.
No, no, you're not.
Hey, wait, 2 weeks? Is it still 2 weeks?
I think so. 2 weeks till it opens.
Listen, there isn't that many, which I kind of like. What is it like? Champions? I don't think there's.
Yeah,
No,
alright,
there's
I
very
know.
few.
I think
Let's talk about that actually for a second.
Yeah.
So we got a new rank system, and do you want to elaborate at least on the? We'll talk about like the actual manifestations. How do you feel about the champion rank?
I mean, as much as I want to be in it, I feel like it should be a grind to get to. I don't feel like something. I'm just gonna go off topic.
Go for
I
it.
don't like unranked GMs. I feel like
Point at this guy.
what he did, he actually built I don't still agree with it, but you built a story, and when I watched it, that was actually the best one I've ever
Thank you,
seen.
appreciate it.
I don't agree with unranked GMs, but I also didn't like how Overwatch was the only game where you could play 20 games of unranked GM and beat the top rank. I think it should be a grind. Champion is a hard thing that you should be able to get, and I mean, I kind of enjoy it.
I mean, one of the reasons why so many people didn't rank the gyms because there was no point to grind.
Yeah,
Like at
I
least
guess
for
so.
me, I just wanted to learn new characters. I didn't like. I'm GM1. Where am I going afterwards?
Yeah,
right?
I feel like
I
a lot
mean,
of people
yeah.
were GM1, but the top GM1 and the low GM1 was still
Yeah, I
a
agree,
huge
yeah.
skill gap.
Yeah.
But now there's a new rank, and I think I'm following one of the people on Twitter that does the matchmaking, and I did see one of his tweets that like there's like not even there's like 5 people, and
Yeah, there are barely any people.
there's no one in champion
But
right now.
counter argument is
There's only 2 weeks.
a lot of people win their placements, they're high elo, and they get boosted into champion. I'm not saying they're boosted; they're really good players, but it's way harder to climb to champion than this
Then
just
to
get
get it
there from
initially after
placements,
calibration.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you 5-stack, you win your placements, you get to champion, and then you just kind of stay there maybe, right? But if you're placed in GM4, GM5, it's so hard to get champion, which is fine, right?
I like it. I like how
don't
hard it
disagree
is.
with that. I don't disagree with that. I think it's fine.
Freya, how have you found the champion rank?
I love that we have something to work towards.
Yeah.
Right? It's just it feels good to have there be more because it's like you hit GM1, it's like okay, I beat Overwatch. It's like,
True.
what
There's
else
nothing really
is
to
there?
grind for.
Exactly right. Yeah. This
Yeah.
is really cool.
So let's talk about the rank reset itself because I've actually really enjoyed
I like it.
what it's done
Yeah.
to
I like
the the rank system. I feel like
I've never been so happy to be Masters 3. You know,
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
hell
Yeah,
let's
you
go.
know what I don't like? I don't like people coming to my channel and be like, "Oh, this rank reset was for you." The people who you know
Yeah.
stayed in GM now are masters. I'm
of
like,
course.
come on! I'm still playing against the people who are top 500
Right.
at the time.
yeah, there's like a bit of a misunderstanding of what the rank reset is going to achieve because a lot of people felt like it would boost them into a better rank, and the truth is for most people, it's brought them down. Obviously, for maybe if you're because what it's done has been to squish the curve, right? So the higher you are, the more you're brought down in the middle, and the lower you are, maybe you'll get pushed up a little bit or given the chance to push up a little bit. But for the vast majority of people, you're probably going to go down or stay roughly where you are. What it's done, I feel, is really change the value of each rank. So like I got put in, I haven't played too much Overwatch this season because it's been away and stuff. And poor Fareeha's hurt her knee. So if you see that ice pack, it's because Fareeha's
She
hurt.
tried to run away from campus, so you know.
They shot the snipers got her. She was about to leak, and the Blizzard
she's gonna
snipers
leak
got
stuff,
one.
yeah.
Then she took an arrow to the knee.
It's really
but,
sad.
So I got put in Diamond, and I've never played sweatier Diamond games. Like they've been super try hard. Now I'm in
like.
Master, and they're like better than any GM game I've ever had in Overwatch 2. Right, the Master games are like super sweaty, super try hard. Everyone's
Oh, yeah,
calming.
they are.
Like the coordination is great, and I appreciate that value on the ranks. Because one thing I really disliked, especially towards the end of Season 8, was that everyone had this feeling of like GM meant nothing, and it was
felt
like
so washed
a
out,
free.
yeah.
It was like a free thing. Anyone can get GM. It doesn't even. Who cares? You got GM. It diminished the achievement, and I feel really bad for the people who were getting it for the first time, right? Because they worked hard. There's a lot of people who worked really hard. You wanna. The thing of a rank system is when you dedicate yourself and you're like, I want to get better. You want to feel an achievement when you get those ranks, right? You don't want to feel diminished. You don't want to be like, oh well, diamond means nothing because everyone gets diamond for free now. So the fact that like those people now, when they get every rank, it's going to feel very earned. It's going to feel very deserved. I'm so happy for that because that's how it should be. Like people should feel pride in what they've done. So I hope you guys, even if you're like diamond, plat, don't stress because those games are freaking hard right now. Those games are super hard, and I think it's done a lot of good.
For the first time forever, it's impressive to be GM1. It's actually like there aren't many people that are GM1.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's extremely impressive to be champion. Like if you were before, if you were GM, it's like, bro, who are you, right? But now, if you're champion, you're actually extremely good at the game, and it's really impressive and something to brag about. You couldn't brag about being GM, like you would be made fun of, right? But champion is cool. I like it. I like the system. Okay. 515 or whatever 520 system that was beforehand was so stupid. I don't know what.
I didn't like
I'm
that.
sorry.
I'm
sorry. It's like you guys undercooked.
I like how more. You're talking about like when you win a game. It's
The
more
old
transparent.
system. Yeah, the old system was stupid. The new system is so much better.
I like how more
Yeah.
transparent they are going. And,
Yeah, I
you
like
know.
it. I like the number going up and down. That's awesome. I love that. You know.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so talk to me about the calibration for you, because obviously that's there's the reset part, and we can touch on that a little bit more as well, because there's still some things to unpack. But the calibration, the seeing exactly how much you're going up and down, why you're going up and down, I think most people are a fan of it, but your thoughts?
It's nice. I feel like I always lose more than I win. So it's rough, but higher ranks have always been like that. So it's just been shown to us now, and it's easier to know that it's there, instead of going 5-5 and then deranking.
Right. And there is still sometimes ambiguity, because you're not sure, like, oh, I lost 40% or gained 40%.
There's a Karan Dop clip where he deranks like 60% or something.
I
It goes
got
crazy.
multiple 41s.
Yeah.
About
That's
45
funny.
is the most.
I saw actually a clip from somebody who
No.
deranked from,
Back, man.
I think, plat, like maximum, to all the way down to like gold.
Oh my
It was
goodness.
really funny.
my
But I think those are niche cases. They don't happen.
Right,
often,
the reason they end up on social media is because they're like such a rare case, and I think,
Do you want to see the clip of Karan?
yeah, okay, we can pull that up potentially. If
Is
that's
that
the clip
Karan's
there.
or what is this clip actually?
We'll
Let's see.
let production vet that for a moment while we yeah, I think obviously those are a little bit edge cases. We've been here talking to the devs and stuff, and they will say that like a lot of these might just be bugs as well.
Oh,
Like
that's
it
the
might
plat
just be
gold one.
it might
Yeah,
just
that's
be like actually the game is bugged. But for the vast majority of people, it's a little bit volatile right now because that's the point of the reset.
Yeah.
But as it goes on, it should be a lot more clear.
Oh my god.
We're gonna
so
watch
funny.
in a
You're
second
playing more,
now.
you had it coming.
We're gonna
So
watch in a second
funny.
now the
Look
full
how happy she is.
D-rank. So here it is. This is this unfortunate Moira player.
Oh
Full D-rank.
Look at
That,
this.
oh my god, it just keeps
So
going.
Well, what
Oh
you don't
my
know about
God.
this, it says volatile. Like how many losses was he on?
I mean, this is
Well, that would have said
matter.
lost streak
Yeah, it
though,
would
wouldn't
said
it?
lost
No,
It
no,
would
no,
have said
that's right
lost
after
streak.
placements. So when you get placed a certain spot and then you lose a bunch
Or
of
he played
games,
against
that's when it says
bronzes and
volatile.
lost the game or
Well,
something.
isn't the first few games after you placing the most important as well?
Yeah, they're important for
this
sure.
clip.
But it's so funny.
My heart goes out to that Moira player, but
My
also
heart
a Moira
does
player.
not.
But they're a Moira player,
Yeah.
so it's not very far. The
L
heart
plus
doesn't go
one.
very
Oh
far.
my goodness, that's tough.
That is tough. That's a feels bad. But again, I think those outliers are going to be rare. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think what's helpful is that you can see this is why I lost a lot. This is why I'm gaining a lot.
I like that.
Yeah, I like it. I like the rank system. I think it's good. It reminds me of Overwatch 1 a bit. It's good.
Yeah, and in fact, even Overwatch 1 never gave you this much detail as to
they
why
didn't.
you were.
I like it. I have
Yeah.
nothing bad to say about this system. Maybe 5 stacking versus solo queues, but that's
I
it.
feel like that's something that they can change, like later on. I
Yeah,
think
for sure.
Well, let's talk about that. So you kind of feel like the stacking is a little bit problematic. I know this is something that's been particularly affecting people in the GM area,
Yeah.
and this is how people getting champion is, to put it perhaps a negative way, abusing the 5 stack.
It's not abusing. Everyone can 5 stack. You just 5 stack yourself, right?
why is my 5 stat not winning?
Yeah, well, it's my 5 stack has been winning pretty hard, so I know,
Does
right?
5 stack
So,
have
yeah,
salt
so
in it?
describe
Yeah.
the problem for those who are kind of unfamiliar
So
with
the
it.
problem is in GM, you get really, really good players, right? You have pro players, you have streamers, you have people that are GM that are not taking it as seriously, but they still want to play the game. And it's really unfair as a solo queue player to face a professional team and GM because there aren't that many champions, and you're just playing the game, trying to stream or do something fun. And then you just play against like a 5 stack of Koreans, maybe not in EU, but like EU equivalent, right? And they just roll you because you're all solo queue. People might not mesh together. You might have a one trick, right? You can have a lot of funny things, and it's just not fun. And it happens really often. When I 5 stack, I play against solo queues all the time, and it's never fun, right? And that sucks. And another thing that happens when you're champion, you only basically play against 5 stacks because you can't find games. So I don't like that, but at the same time, people complain way too much about 5 stacks. Why don't you 5 stack yourself, right? Like my point is, anyone can 5-stack right now, and I feel like even if you 5-stack, you're still gonna lose games. Like Jay here, right? So I don't think it's that broken. It's extremely annoying though.
I feel like they could fix it though. 5-stack should be
for
able
sure.
to go against 5 stacks.
Yeah, I think.
But I
it's
feel like they just brought it out so people can do
I
it.
think they can fix it.
There could be a lot of.
But that's my only gripe with the system. I don't think I have anything else.
Yeah, and we're in a little bit of danger because, this podcast in particular, we always have Sam and Flats being like, bring back stacking, bring back stacking.
Yeah.
And now we bring back stacking, we're like, too much stacking. So
Yeah.
I think
stacking is still good.
I think it's fun. It's good.
It's fun.
It's good. It's fun. The game is supposed to be fun, and it's a team game. So promoting team play, I think it's fun.
It should be something you opt into. Solos shouldn't have to go against 5 stacks
I agree
ever.
completely. Yeah.
Ever.
Right. And that should be fairly, I say.
Unless you're going against J stack, then it's like
Then it's a
considered
free
boosting.
win. Then it's a free win, yeah. Then,
Yeah.
then it's win
Right.
trading. Then it's win
trading,
trading.
yeah.
But yeah, I think that should be a fairly easy fix. Again, I'm not a matchmaking dev, so I'm sure there's a lot of complication, but I feel like that's something that they should be able to change up. I will say I've personally found stacking to be like a lot more viable and playable. Like one of the problems I felt, so I used to stack a lot with Frito and Nateson in like Overwatch 1, and we got really disheartened because like the games just felt harder, and to balance it out, either you're going up against a 5-stack and you're with 2 randoms, or like you get the dumpster solo queue players who like haven't played in like 5 years and like just don't know what they're doing, and you have to carry them as the way of balancing the stack. But this season, my solo queue games and my stack has returned with Frito and Nateson, and they've been awesome. Like the games have felt almost unilaterally close. Mm-hmm. Everyone's like playing a really like high quality Overwatch, or at least the best quality I've seen in a while. And I think that's how Overwatch should be played. Like that's how everyone enjoys Overwatch. Is with your friends.
True.
Is a coordinated game. Like solo queue, everyone deathmatching can be fun, but it's exhausting a lot of the time.
Yeah, it is.
Whereas playing the like, okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna go on this guy. Let's stop our comp. We're gonna do this. That's where it's at. That's where everyone falls in love with Overwatch.
True.
So I think anything that encourages stacking, while again I want people to be able to play solo, and I hope Jay's phone stays on his couch.
Yeah, my bad.
I want people to be able to play solo, but I want people to be at least certainly not punished for stacking, but also feel good when they're stacking, because that's where the fun is at. IMO.
Yep.
Yeah, even though I lost a lot of games, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's
That's
fun.
That's
peak.
what
That's
matters,
actually
yeah.
the peak Overwatch experience. That if like that's what a dev would want, I imagine, right? It's
Yeah,
like,
I mean-
I lost, but I still had a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then the next day you just gotta solo queue all the way back up. So I do not want to 5-stack with them again. But no, it's been. I think it's there's work to be done. But right now, I think it's going in the right direction.
Nice.
Yeah.
Free, how about yourself? Is there any sort of changes you want to see to anything?
No.
No.
Happy? Well, I think one thing that has really done well is kind of encouraging the stacking in preparation almost perhaps for things like your tournament, Jay, and also Face It, which is now for the first time integrating into Overwatch.
Yeah,
Which has
Face
been
is cool.
amazing. Have you guys tried it?
I want to,
It
not
is.
yet.
It is insanely cool. I played it with the Overwatch team that we have. Dude, it's so cool. Like when you go into like the website and it shows you the 2 captains are picking and banning maps.
Oh, nice.
It's actually it's really cool. And then when it's done, it automatically invites you to the game.
Right.
That's
and
cool.
then you join it.
Oh.
Everything's already set and done. The map is there. The settings are already set. It's so cool. I
Yeah.
love it.
Is it like you can queue up like in CS? Like
I
play?
don't know if they
Or
have
is it
like
only
solo
for
queue.
tournaments?
I don't know yet. I
So
don't
how
know.
did you do it? Was it for a tournament or for
Uh,
Overwatch CS?
yeah. So every weekend they have like this Swiss thing,
Okay.
and then Friday the top 4 teams, and then Saturday the top 4 teams go into a playoff on Sunday. It's
Okay.
really cool.
Okay,
it's really
nice.
fun.
That's fun.
Yeah,
I like
so
it. And hopefully, like you guys could, or if they I don't know how they're going to integrate it, but hopefully, if you guys ever want to run like a tournament or whatnot, or with your community, you could do it through Face
Yeah,
It.
it's cool.
Be cool.
Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome. So do you want to describe again, just briefly for anyone who maybe doesn't even know what Face It is, like what the process is, like how you go about it, how you get into it, and how you play?
Oh my god! You just go to like Face It, I think, and I don't know if there's a solo thing, because like I know in Counter-Strike you guys could like
You can queue up.
you could
so-
queue up solo and just play like very like you have your comp ladder, which is occasionally you people are trying to win, but like they're not in voice chat or they're not communicating. But like in Face It, I don't really watch a lot of Counter-Strike, but they solo queue into that, and everyone's calming, everyone's having a good time. It's that high like competitive game, and that's what I like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like valued above the competitors.
Yeah.
I remember when I used to play Dota, there was also like external matchmaking systems that were like, whatever happened in ranked wasn't. I don't think this is still true of Dota, but it used to be that whatever happened in ranked wasn't such a big deal. It was face it.
In
where-
CS, it's like that. Nobody takes ranked seriously. Everyone's global elite, and they only take Faceit ranked seriously. And ranked sucks in CS, so you have to use Faceit.
Yeah, and it has its own ranking system, and you can climb there.
Yeah, so hopefully they do something like that because Faceit
That'd be
has
cool.
been such a fun time. I mean, I've been enjoying it, and plus the people who are working, I think, for Faceit have been really friendly too.
Yeah, and I think they've said that they want to open that out to not just the GMs and the champions, but like everyone. And I think that would be the best win for Overwatch if we can have like plat tournaments and gold tournaments.
That'd be cool.
And you can assemble, and obviously it comes with its problems. There's going to be Smurfs, and Jay, you've I'm sure experienced all this kind of problems in your tournament. There's going to be Smurfs. There's going to be people abusing the system. But if you can play with like your plat friends and make a team and win, like there's nothing more satisfying than that. Because again, I don't think it's accessible for everyone to make it to GM or make a GM team. I remember when I used to play StarCraft, for example, and they'd be like the weekend tournaments. And Bogur needs to stop whatever the meowing or whatever the hell it is.
Mewing.
Mewing.
I'm
Meowing.
looks maxing.
He's looks maxing. I remember that like you could be diamond, and there'll be like a weekly diamond tournament, and you can participate. And at the end of it, if you win, like I remember I won one, and I was like so happy. I was like, oh, I'm the best diamond player ever. Like I'm better than all these chumps. And I think that's great. I think that experience for Overwatch players would be really valuable if they could feel even within their own elo a sense of accomplishment, a sense of like, yo, I've assembled a great team. We did a great job. We won.
Yeah.
So I would love to kind of see that come through.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Freya, any thoughts on the Faceit?
I agree.
I agree.
You agree? Okay, nice. So Jay, and this is a good time to bring up as well your tournament. So you've been, in fact, I think it's taking place today.
Tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay. So you've done a great job of organizing this tournament. I think especially because this was kind of done before Faceit was announced,
Yeah.
and like in that in between period when Overwatch League was dead, we weren't sure what was going to happen. And so kudos to you for having done an awesome job. And I think we should all kind of take a second to point that out. That you've done a great job to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's mostly the community. Like it was crowdfunded, so I mean, it's still like it's been fun. I like it. I wanted to do more community stuff, and I always wanted to run a tournament for a very long time. So once Overwatch League went down, I kind of had the opportunity.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Fun.
It's
Are you playing in it?
No, I think I'm doing the show match.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think so. I think if I make it back in time. I think
Oh
so.
yeah, you have a long,
Yeah.
a long flight.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think like just big credit to you and your team because I know these things are always
BPL, yeah, Bad Petramar.
they're always
Yeah.
like such a mammoth effort, and everyone involved is kind of the real MVP. So, yeah, thank you for bringing it together. And what have your sort of observations been organizing this tournament?
Never again.
There is
Never.
one observation.
Never again.
One observation. Oh.
It's one observation.
What do you think I'm gonna say?
I don't know. You say
No, you
whatever.
say it
It's your
first. Let me
tournament. I
hear
can
it.
say it. I don't care.
You say it then. Go
I
ahead.
was like, console players are cooked, bro.
Yeah,
they're
no,
cooked.
you're right.
They're so
I think
cooked.
I tried to be open about it and like, hey, if you want to play, but I feel like console players ruin their own stuff.
Yeah.
Like they get invited to stuff and they ruin their connections.
I had an interaction with console players. Like, we played against them, and Jake was sus of one of them, and then they instantly came into my stream to talk shit and tell me, this and that, and flame me. I was like, holy, relax. I didn't even say
Oh
it,
yeah, so I made a tweet about it. You guys saw like
I saw
you
the-
guys saw it's like an iceberg. You guys saw the surface, but there was so much more,
Yeah.
bro. There was so much more, and but
Production,
I mean,
would it be possible to pull up J3's tweet on this as well? That'd be awesome.
that
Just so
would
we
be
can see the
so-
evidence of what was said. Just
They-
go to J3's
that's-
Twitter if you can, and I think it's one of your most
it's
recent
one of
tweets.
my most recent, and I had like almost 600,000 views. I
Yeah.
didn't even think about that. I was just like, but it as much as a problem that was, I feel like the overall experience and like I understand how much work goes behind running a tournament now. I think. I think.
They're reading a message in chat that's like, who benches
I wrote
more
this
Jay
back.
or Bogur?
I
Scratch
do-
your nose.
I do think it like as of right now, I'm actually losing like money running it, but it's like the learning value and stuff behind it is like a lot of fun.
But that's the thing about esports, you always lose money. That's why
Yeah.
that's the
What
thing.
I'm hearing is, guys, 5 gifted to J3.
5 gifted to Jay.
Yeah.
Support,
Yeah,
support
5
the
gifted.
community. Support
Who
the
loves
community.
losing money?
Yeah.
But I feel like, I mean, I don't know. I have my own. Even if you're losing a little bit, it's like how much you learned
Right.
is more valuable, I guess.
And I've done a lot of collaborations with the console community, so I want to try and
Oh, I feel so sorry.
give
for you.
a. Yeah.
Somebody linked the tweet.
I want to give another. Yeah, somebody's linked the tweet there, so that would be awesome. So I want to give a bit of context, which is that I really feel sympathy for the good eggs in the console community
Yeah.
because they are there. You've had like
I've had multiple
Hopeful
good
and
teams.
Worth and Proud Mongol as well. Like those guys have like really do a great job of like keeping a sanitized
Yeah.
section of the console community. But when I have done stuff with the console community as well, there's large swathes of them that are just saying horrendous shit. They're really, really like bigoted and you know like just really negative, really toxic, and really bring that atmosphere to the event. And it makes it hard because you don't want to like tarnish everyone with the same brush. You don't want to like ban console players because there's so many of them.
Yeah, no, I don't want to punish the ones that actually do deserve to play, but I mean, I feel like as of right now, I feel like there is not going to be open to all console players. I feel like it will be a limited, if anything. If I do run another one, that is as well. Like, there's a lot of back end to stuff I didn't even know.
Can we get one with we're just working with the production here. Can we get the one with the message that you shared in the screenshot?
Oh, I don't. If
You don't
you're,
wanna-
if you're comfortable with
I'm
showing
comfortable
that,
with it. We've shown a lot of shit on the podcast, so there should be
and
below this. Is it in the thread?
it's in the thread.
Right. So you might have to.
Yeah,
you might
but
have
if you're not logged in, you
yeah,
can't
if you're
see
not
it.
logged in, you'll have to get the URL of that specific screenshot from the thread. So,
It's up to you, man.
It's-
I don't think so. I don't think you should show
okay,
it.
we'll save it then. We'll save it. Basically,
Guys, go check out the tweet.
They're linking the tweet anyways. They could go
yeah, it's
see
in
it if they
chat.
want.
It's in
Guys.
chat. It's on Jay3's Twitter, so we won't show it on stream. But yeah, a lot of hate.
Yeah.
Sussy.
Well, like I said, that's just the iceberg too. That's like the first two, which was really funny. If you're looking at the images, the long message that I was just like yikes to, that guy was like referencing his friends and whatnot, and then like that the other tweet that I have is like another like that's who they reference, and I was like, why are you referencing this guy? And then on top of that, one of the biggest also problems was that the team that was complaining also went to other streamers' channels and started harassing them
Yeah.
and saying
They even
TOS stuff.
They even harassed Pachimari.
Yeah, which I don't understand.
Yeah,
Like-
they harassed the person organizing it. You know.
like
yeah.
it's your fault for not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think like it's a bunch of kids that are just dumb.
I mean, they just tarnished the name of the entire community.
Yeah,
like
they
a really
ruined the
loud
fun.
minority feeling.
What do you feel like, Fareeha, is like? How would you, if you were in J3 shoes, how would you proceed in the future for such events?
Dude, running tournaments is so hard because the entitlement comes out of the woodworks. As soon as there's money involved, especially if there's money involved, the ways that people will like try to tread on your lines that you set and try to just like push the rules for that one little advantage. And how people will like neg and like rule book people who they seem to think are like, oh yeah, no, you're simming, or like you're cheating in this way, and like I can prove it, and just it's so much to deal with. It's like 20% of the work is actually running the games and like getting the broadcast done, but 80% of it is just like dealing with these interpersonal issues from people who forget that they're talking to the person who's making it all happen, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, I just tell people to read the rules.
Yeah, right.
Because that's like all the answers are. Someone actually, I know the person who wrote the rules, and like they spent a lot of time and effort, and even talked to like some Overwatch League people to get the rules in. And no, the team, Bad Pachimari's team, they did a great job with dealing with everyone and whatnot. And I gave some feedback on some of it, but like I haven't had to personally like do it all myself. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah,
That's
and
good.
yeah, we hope that it's always going to be tough. I think this is why as well I've organized tournaments, and that's why I don't anymore, because they're more hassle than they're worth.
Yeah.
Often.
Like Solomon.
Yeah. So hopefully, what can you do? I think this is where Face It is going to help. because
Yeah, I
it's-
think if Face It, if you are able to run a community tournament through it, it would be a lot of fun.
Right, because it really can't come down to any creator or individual to do these things. It needs to be like structural. It needs to come from Blizzard or Face It or some organization. It needs to be someone's job, and it's a shitty job. So my sympathies to whoever is doing it, but it can't be like you or volunteers or people who are like just not. They don't deserve what's coming their way.
True.
Okay. Any other thoughts on Face It, ranked, or anything like
Awesome
that?
sauce.
Stacking.
Love it.
Love it.
Yeah, it's
Happy
great.
for it.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
You're excited?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's move on then. Is there anything else you guys want to flag up about
Life Weaver skin is so good.
Life Weaver skin?
I don't
so
like
good?
skins usually, but that skin is awesome.
I want to
like-
cosplay it.
Yeah, it's really good skin.
It'd be so
I
fun.
like that skin.
Oh, that would be cool. Like
It
the one
would.
with the feathers on
and
the
the
eyes.
feathers,
That would
and
be sick.
he has eyes on his wrist. It's really cool. I like that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think ironically, this is one of the few seasons where I haven't heard too much discourse about cosmetics. Obviously, the attention has gone to the rank reset and all those changes and the big balance patch. But we haven't heard too much about cosmetics. I know there's been like some murmurings about battle passes and them not being great, and also the limited time mode. So we've got that. What is it even called? The one with the like Antarctica. There's like the pit.
I've never played it. I'll be honest.
Cosmic Crisis.
Cosmic Crisis. Yeah, that's
The Antarctica Sea.
The
Antarctica Sea.
Antarctica Sea.
Oh my goodness.
Cosmic Crisis. Antarctica
I mean,
Sea.
this is like a wider picture thing that we can touch on is that it feels like we're not getting a lot of non-PvP things, but maybe that's good.
I
Maybe
don't
that's
mind
okay.
it. I don't play the PvE stuff. I think they're usually boring. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm
they're
a
mostly
competitive
boring.
player. I just play competitive. I might try something once, but then I'm not going to go back to it.
The PvE things, you just play them once and you never play them
Yeah.
again. And usually they're like so similar, I feel like. Maybe they're cool for a casual player, but I don't know. I don't like them.
I mean, this is like a big philosophical issue that Overwatch has to address. Like, the launch of Overwatch 2 was supposed to be about the PvE, right? It's supposed
Yeah.
to be about bringing this other set of players in and giving them something to do where the PvPers like ourselves, we already had a game to play. But the PvEers didn't. They didn't have a core experience that they could focus on. And I know so many people in the community, lore lovers and people who aren't sweaty tryhard comp players, were looking forward to what that would bring. And they've kind of lost that a little bit. It's a little bit gone by the wayside. But I'm curious for you, because you're someone who spends a lot of time talking about the lore and thinking about like those aspects of Overwatch. Is it worth them dedicating resources to putting out other like limited time modes or more PvE campaigns or anything like that that assists people who aren't interested in ranked and maybe even quick play?
Everything
Or-
is expensive, man. That's just what it comes down to. It's expensive, it takes time and funding. And I'm so for getting more media and like more animated shorts, even a show, or all that kind of stuff, comics, books, you name it. I think for me personally, PvE stuff is on the bottom rung, and I'm like, I'm not being paid to say this. I just think that PvE stuff like Borderlands, like let's take Borderlands 3 for an example. That game does not have the same replayability that a PvP game has, just bar none. You have games where every single time you load in, there's a vastly different experience, and there is a big, massive, humongous player base that will go back in and dive back into the fray because it's a new experience, right? And so the people who grind Borderlands 2, 3, and have like 1,000 hours in it, they're rarer. They're much more rare, right? And so I don't think that PvE naturally has the same replayability. It will get boring. It will get dull and lose its novelty quicker. And I would much rather them divert resources into things that are more accessible to people who aren't just looking for that kick of gameplay. Shooting bots.
I agree. Like, I've never played League, but I watched Arcane.
I love
And that
Right.
made me
I love
want to play League until I
Arcane
asked a
was so
friend.
good.
And they were like, yeah, save your mental and just play
Just
Overwatch.
enjoy Arcane.
Yeah. So, I mean,
I think it would be cool to have more lore stuff, and a lot of your chat is saying that, and I think it's cool. I think a lot of people really like the lore, and if they could delve deeper into lore with PvE stuff, that would be cool. But again, I don't like the PvE stuff. I feel like events like the April Fool's patch was way more fun and replayable.
Oh my god, a roguelike mode.
Because you play against each other and every game is different and so silly and so funny. But
Yeah.
when it's like Cosmic Crisis or whatever else, you play it, you know what's happening, and you don't want to play it again. So you spend a lot of resources for it to be played once. It's not fun. I want more patches or more modes like Prop Hunt. That's cool.
I love Prop Hunt.
More
fun.
modes like the more silly stuff like the April Fool's patch, right? That's more permanent. Something like even if you look at other games that are like free to play, like League and stuff, they never really do PvE because the core is PvP, and I feel like PvE is so hard to do to make it replayable in a PvP game. and there's so many resources that you need to spend to do it, maybe it's just not worth it. I feel like if you spend more resources to make fun modes where like it doesn't have to be competitive, but it can be still silly and fun, and be way better. Obviously, people like the PvE, but I don't know. I don't like it that much. I think if we had more modes like Pop-Hunt, that'd be cool. That's my
No
opinion.
mediums are created equal, and I feel like PvE is one of the most expensive and also like diminishing returns of
Yeah.
them all.
Yeah.
You gotta weigh the pros and cons, I guess.
You
Yeah.
experience it once, it's done.
Yeah.
It doesn't live on your shelf. You can't rewatch it really. You don't really feel compelled to.
Yeah.
It's not like.
When are we
the
getting
others.
an animated show?
If we had something like
This is sick.
Arcane, bro,
That'll
that
be
would be
crazy.
so sick.
It just needs crazy funding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
it's
think
true.
I wonder if the devs have come to this conclusion themselves, which is why we don't see as many limited time modes. Like there was a point in time when they were pumping these out, and there was a lot of effort being put into them, which we appreciate. But as you guys have pointed out, when they don't have that replayability and they
Yeah.
don't kind of sit on their own, they don't sustain by themselves, it feels like a lot of effort wasted. Like did it, even from their business POV, did it increase the amount of money they made that season? Probably not by a lot, right? Ultimately, they probably just want people to play the game and buy the battle pass.
But it's like advertisement, right? Like when you spend money on ads, you don't get direct revenue back, right? Like a lot of companies spend a lot of money on ads, and
Right.
Arcane was a big ad. For
No,
League.
no, I'm not talking about the TV shows. I'm talking
Okay.
about the PvE modes right
Oh,
now.
okay, yeah.
Like obviously, I'm a huge advocate for getting a TV show because that is as you described, it's a wider media thing, and I think that is a big gap in the Overwatch ecosystem. Like we talked about this on the last podcast episode, but the heroes are really underutilized. Like there's so much love.
People
for the Overwatch
love
heroes.
lore. Sigma, Ramatra, Tracers, whatever, Mercies, whatever,
They need to bring back the animated shorts,
Bro.
which I know probably costs a pretty penny, but
Yeah,
like
but
those animated shorts were
It's one of the
beautiful.
reasons why Overwatch was so popular as well, because everyone loved them and people wanted to play because it brings hype, and you're like, I want to play the game now, and I go queue up Reinhardt, die with honor, live with glory, whatever, it's awesome, that's cool.
It's wild that a bunch of people's, even mine's, like first interaction with Overwatch was through its art, its shorts, stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like, if you make more PvE stuff where there's more lore, that'll be cool. People like lore, People love Overwatch lore. We just don't have enough of it.
The interest is there. It's always been there.
People
It's still
love the
there.
characters of Overwatch compared to other games. Like the characters of Overwatch, so awesome, like so cool. They're interesting, right?
I actually have stats on this.
Oh yeah.
You do.
I have some stats on this. I was doing research. I was like, why is it that Overwatch's heroes are so much more famous in terms of like the cultural sphere than anyone in Valorant, anyone in Apex? I don't think there's like a direct competitor to Overwatch because no game feels like this. It's not just like, oh, it's battle royale shooter. No, but it dwarfs its competition. I don't hear anybody talk about Rampart from Apex the way that I hear people talk about Symmetra.
I love Rampart. The goat. Yeah, okay.
The same voice actress,
Yeah.
right? Same diversity that's hit, right? The same like kind of dynamic character design, very, very cool. But Symmetra is just leagues more popular. And you go on Tumblr, you go on these sites where you can actually see the amount of people following a certain tag. Overwatch has like a million, 1.5 million people just following that tag. Valorant, Apex, they have like less than 10K. It's like, why is that? Yeah, it like blows them out of the water.
And I think there's like a danger, because Bogur, you're talking about like PvE and lore. I think there's like a danger of connecting the PvE and the lore. And obviously, hindsight, Andy, we can say this now. But having to like shoot a bunch of bots to experience the story, like it doesn't really feel like it. Like it just feels like it's a chore to get to the one clip we want to see anyways. And then once you've seen the clip, you're never going to shoot the bots again to get that thing. So I do think like if we're going to have PvE modes or any sort of limited time modes, they need to be focused, in my mind, on something fun and replayable by itself that maybe just highlights how fun the heroes are, but move the lore away into its own media in some ways, right?
That's
like,
why voice lines are so cool, because voice lines give you a lot of lore, and that's cool.
right,
That's awesome.
and that's kind of like Overwatch kind of made that a thing, right?
Yeah.
Like that wasn't really. Now all these hero shooters and stuff do it, like Valorant and Apex. They'll have them like just.
It's not nearly as
dialoguing.
good. It's just banter. It's meaningless banter.
Right.
I'm sorry to say.
No, I mean it's
It's-
awful. Like some of
yeah.
the voice lines in Apex and Valorant are so bad. They're so awful.
Watch this.
Right. They're just like, what's the bamboozle or whatever the frick that
They're like
Apex
TikTokers.
guy is called. Like it's just like the
Mirage.
NPC behavior.
Mirage.
Bamboozling them.
Yeah, it's like they
You
just like,
want to play? Let's play.
I mean, that one kind of slaps actually.
yeah,
but,
okay.
but yeah, I think that, and again, this is something we can throw out, and I have no idea what it takes for the developers to do it, but I would love to see them, if they're going to focus on limited time stuff, to be more like an April Fool's patch, more like mini game stuff, which, I mean, Samido, if Samido's here, he'd be saying bring an Apex Battle Royale style
Don't
thing.
bring a battle royale. to the
Bring a
game.
battle royale into Overwatch.
Don't do that.
Give us another dating sim.
A
That'd be
dating sim,
nice.
yeah, like stuff like that would be fun. Or like, you know, like Hearthstone has battlegrounds and card games, like that would be fun too.
God,
I feel like that's
Overwatch chess.
That's good. I feel like that would be a good way
That
for
would be
Overwatch.
fun.
Because like a lot of games have their main game and then like smaller games, but they still represent that main game.
It feeds into the franchise.
Yeah.
And sometimes they become bigger, like, you know, like Battlegrounds is bigger than the regular Hearthstone, right? And
Imagine like an Overwatch version of TFT. It's
Right.
like a tactical kind of
That'd
turn-based
be
thing.
cool.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Bogur doesn't sound too convinced.
No, I like TFT. It's cool, but
He's flexing for the camera, bro.
I need to flex my. I've been going to the gym, right?
Can we get
Oh
a
my
flex
goodness.
check from all of us?
Oh my goodness.
Wait, we're all flexing?
Let's flex.
Well, I'm
Let's
wearing
see.
long sleeve shirts, so my flexing is irrelevant. Like it doesn't even display. Nice. This is why I invited these three onto the podcast, because they're the gym bros of the Overwatch community. These are the guys hitting the gym every
Jay,
day.
Jay has
picks
better
this-
definition on his bicep.
No, they all look
Looks
fantastic.
sick.
They all look
Yeah.
fantastic. But yeah, is there any other aspects of the lore or like just
Big
the heroes
man.
Trying to catch up to you, bro. I see you. I see you.
Yeah.
Actually, Jay3 took us last time we were here. Jay3 took us to the gym and taught us how to
Yeah,
deadlift.
it was dead-
That's a little fun.
Let's go.
You guys
It's a fun
deadlift?
little story. Yeah, I actually do it still.
Yeah, I
Okay,
did lift too.
okay.
Yeah.
So Jay3 teaching us in gym,
Yep.
but perhaps needs some
That
more
would be a
coaching.
cool thing to do for your podcast,
Yeah,
gym
gym
podcast.
coach.
A gym podcast, a live from the
Ooh.
gym. Okay,
Yeah.
we're stepping up. We're getting escalating. First,
Oh,
is
it's
our
like
first ever
it's like hot
in-person.
ones, but instead of eating spicy chicken wings,
Who
You just
can
deadlift
deadlift
you're
it.
like
more?
you're
You just
lifting
deadlift.
You
shit.
argue and then you
There
do a deadlift competition. Whoever deadlifts
And you have to
more
like
wins.
answer the question while you're there at the
Yeah.
peak of it. You're just like, oh.
I think support players suck.
No one's gonna argue with you now because
Yeah.
they're gonna be like, oh shit, okay.
Oh, no.
Alright, bro.
right, bro.
Yeah, that's funny.
Okay, so again, we'll just round up the lore thing. Anything you want to add on the heroes and the use of the game outside, or any like stuff with game modes and stuff that you want to flag up? You're thinking.
What heroes?
Give them a moment. Chat, is there anything you guys want to bring up? Because we are, as you can see, they've been reading.
I mean, I feel like I just said more animated shorts. I think the animated, because I love them. Like the Genji Hanzo one, that was a beautiful. I think the last one was like what Kiri. Kiri was a
Kirito,
really
yeah.
good one.
There was a Sojourn one as well, wasn't there?
Was there?
There was something.
Oh,
with
the
it.
Sojourn with the
Let me
that's
see.
true. Like I feel like that gives you a lot of information and that get like. As much like I watched Arcane, like I was saying, and then you were talking about like replayability for games and whatnot. Like I kind of want to watch Arcane again.
Right.
Yeah,
Yep,
and I'm
Arcane.
actually looking forward. I don't play the
Yes,
game.
next
don't,
season.
don't care about the game. Don't care about the lore. But I want to watch that and
November 23rd.
watch
Yeah,
the
next
second
season,
season.
yeah,
Yeah,
same,
I'm
same.
actually looking forward to that.
I love
like,
it. Makes you want to play the game.
Yeah,
I want to play League. I like League. You know,
I
Even
Yeah.
even if they can fund like little memes or like little comic series that come up more regularly instead of these like big dedicated stories where it's super fleshed out, it can just be something little and serial, and it pours fuel on the fire that is like the lore community's like passion for it, because it's there, it's always been there, and it's getting a bit more of a resurgence now. Like I think the public perception of Overwatch is improving, but it's like riding a burning ship, right?
That's the thing. We have so many cool new characters that have no lore. Ramatra, people would go crazy for Ramatra stuff.
I
People
love
would go
Ramatra.
crazy for
I don't
Ram
even play
stuff.
him, but he's a
Even
cool
with
character.
Sigma, if they actually make some good Sigma stuff, people would go crazy for that. Laurie had a good, animation, right? I want to learn more about Laurie. It's so cool. Like, it's so sad of a story. I want to learn more about Peruvian. It's cool.
Ramotra's so interesting as a character. 'Cause,
Yes,
like,
exactly.
He literally sat himself down in this dark room at a table, and he's like, "I wonder what I want my third and fourth arm to look like." And he's like
It's
building them.
cool. I want to hear more about it. I don't
Never
hear
knew that.
more
That's actually
about it.
happened?
Yeah, he built his new form.
Yeah.
He didn't
The
have
Nemesis
that
form,
before.
the Nemesis
Yeah.
I
form.
never knew that. That's sick.
Yeah.
It's like his entire character is so interesting. Like the tabula rasa of like, are you born bad or do you become bad?
All I'm
and it's
saying
like,
is we
he's a
need
bit of both.
less Kiriko stuff, more stuff for Ramatra. Yeah.
That's cute.
Bro.
Less Kiriko's getting the hate. I think there's actually go ahead. Go for it.
I think Kiriko is deeper than she comes up. She seems like, oh, she's so cool, she's so like full of herself. No, I think she's projecting. I think she's actually really quite insecure.
I project too if I had a Suzu.
Yes, yeah.
You know how Diva is very like nerf this, and she's very gamery and kind of like turns the cringe to 11, and she leans into it so much. I always thought like, okay, headcanon, she gamifies war in order to cope with the horrors of it.
Right, okay, well, sure, whatever. Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's the cool thing. Everyone can make their own story,
No.
I think she's
No,
just
I
a
don't
silly
think so.
goober, that's what I think.
You think so?
Yeah, I think she's just a silly little
You think
goober,
she's just
yeah.
a little girl with a giant
I don't think,
two-ton neck?
no offense to Blizzard, I don't think they thought that far into it, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think
they have.
I think it's like so...
Just 'cause you have
okay,
it.
my bad. They're looking at me,
They're looking over. No, I think the lore team they spend that's their job, and they spend an inordinate amount of time just kind of talking through the characters and like what they'd be like as people, and I kind of flesh them out.
Yeah.
So I
There's
don't think
maps
Free
that we
has.
don't even see.
Sorry.
There's like mind maps that we don't even get to see.
Right. So I don't think Free is like out of pocket for suggesting that they would kind of think about like, well, what is Diva's perspective on war, or what is like, why does she do the things she does? So
Yeah.
you're gonna get shot by the snipers, the Blizzard snipers, for disrespecting the lore team.
My bad. My knee, oh no, my knee.
Oh no.
no.
Can I get an ice pack?
It's a water pack now.
Oh god.
So yeah, anything else you want to bring up on the lore end, Freya in particular?
I love it. I want more.
Why is security coming here? Oh god.
Jay, anything you want to add on this before we move on?
I learned a lot of my lore through chat.
You learn a lot of your lore through
Yeah.
chat.
There is a big lore community. People
What
love
did
it.
you learn most recently?
Well, not anything recently. What you just said, I just learned that. I actually didn't know that. But I remember going on like Tracer and playing on King's Row, and she has a voice on that says, "I can't wait to see Emily here," and I'm like, "Wait, who's
Yeah,
that?"
who the hell?
And then chat would tell me like, "Oh yeah, that's Tracer's."
I'm sorry. I just
significant
want
other."
to correct this commentary. I do not love Life Weaver. Okay, I just want to
You
make that
put you
clear.
put thousands of hours in him. I
No,
think you love
1,000
him.
games. I didn't put it out of love. It's for the challenge,
You showed us your body pillow for Life Weaver.
You weren't supposed to mention that. Okay?
That's under NDA.
That was on carpet.
Security.
Yeah, sniper, aim there.
Before I get kicked out, why was there a hole in it?
Cut the
Okay, this is
Boger's like you, the beta, play Lifeweaver because you think he's hot. I, the
Giga
Sigma,
Chad,
play Lifeweaver because he's
what
hard.
have I done?
Yes.
What have I done?
Next question, yeah.
Yeah, so
Next question.
I was going to talk about serious shit, but I really, I don't know how I'm going to tone shift now from what we've just gone into. I was going to say,
Look how ready he is. I'm always red. I'm always red.
It's a sunburn.
No, I see. Florida,
I was
right?
outside.
this is what happens in Florida, man steps outside.
Yeah, it is. I turn red when I just get in the sun.
Yeah. When he
Your
talks about
birds.
Life Weaver, maybe he has a crush. on
Yeah,
Life
he has
Weaver.
the crush on life. I don't know. We're going to avoid the life
Flashback.
topic. I was going to say that
Yes.
obviously we can sit here and say this. I wonder how much of this will change with Microsoft. Because again, we've been in the Activision era for so long. We kind of got the feeling that Activision didn't really want to fund these things that we're talking about, right? The animated short. We've been begging for a Netflix show for I don't know how long. Since we've seen the shorts, we've been begging to please give us a Netflix show, and especially that increased once Arcane came out, and we could see what could be done. But it'd be interesting to see what Microsoft's approach is. Like, do they value these things? Do they want to push the lore, or are they happy to just be like, crank out PvP game, crank out skins, battle pass, we're happy, we don't give a shit, we're not going to fund your Netflix show? You guys have any?
We'll see. I love Microsoft. Microsoft is great. Yeah.
I feel like Microsoft. I mean, I feel like they have a big backing to it as well. I mean, they have. Oh man, don't they have like, what's that game? Minecraft. Is it
Yes, they
What's
have.
that game? What's that game? That is the most perpetually Overwatch player answer you can
What's
ever
that
give. What's that
Minecraft?
game? The
Minecraft?
Minecraft? Who
What's that obscure game that nobody plays
Bro,
anymore?
Only the
Minecraft.
most highest selling game of all
Exactly
time.
though, like you see what they put behind it though. There's spin-offs of Minecraft.
true.
There's different games of Minecraft that I think they could do with Overwatch. There's I don't know. Has there ever been a movie or anything?
There is a Minecraft movie in the
So
works.
there you go. I feel like there's a lot
There's
of.
Minecraft Telltale, Minecraft movie, Minecraft dungeon thing.
Okay, Jesus
Minecraft,
Christ.
different Minecraft versions of Minecraft, Java, Bedrock Edition,
Yo.
mobile consoles, you know.
Modded
There's a
Minecraft.
movie,
Lord
yeah.
Minecraft.
Yeah.
So you feel like they could bring that?
I feel like they could bring a lot more, and with the backing behind Microsoft, they have a lot of money to spend, and they could be used to grow Overwatch. Yeah.
When they acquired Minecraft from Mojang, and they kind of soaked them in, it was they handled that well because they kind of just gave them freedom and money to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But can you just like sing a beep while my lips move?
Beep.
Oh, that was.
Okay, do I go
That's
again?
okay,
You want to
so-
go?
Go.
Okay. Beep. Okay, I'm running out of breath.
Yeah. Good
That's how
opinion.
you
I
do it?
agree for you, for sure. Makes sense, yeah.
That'll be the most watched clip of the podcast,
Yep.
I'm sure. I mean, Fareeha,
Wow, can't
As a-
believe she said that.
I know.
to us.
As a side note, Fareeha and I, obviously, we've been talking about doing our own podcast for a bit about non-Overwatch shit. And one of the episodes is that Fareeha is going to talk to me about Minecraft and explain Minecraft to me because I've never really,
Minecraft gamer.
I've only
Yo.
played it once.
Invite
I
Dante.
forgot the name.
Invite
of it,
Dante,
so.
that's true. You were like, what's that game?
What's that
so like,
game?
she's gonna teach me. So presumably I know she's done a lot of research and she's thought a lot about this in Minecraft. So you kind of presumably have a lot of thoughts about how Microsoft handled Minecraft, and maybe you wanna. It sounds like you're not too happy, so maybe you want to point a few red flags that may occur for the future of Overwatch.
my unhappiness is not with Microsoft and Minecraft.
Oh, really?
It's with Microsoft and the other things they do.
Okay.
Be
Yeah.
careful, your other knee might be in trouble. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the last one.
You
Lee.
want it also
You're gonna
on
walk out here on crutches or a wheelchair or something.
I only have one good thing. You gotta be careful. No, I have a general distrust of corporations.
Understandable.
While sitting in a
Because-
corporation.
Yes. well,
Everything is a corporation. But when you go to the Starbucks, you're in a corporation.
and the trouble is, right? Creative expression and flourishing is in direct contrast with what capitalism demands of creators. And we're seeing this sort of crunch in the game development world, in all creative worlds, in the film space, in TV, right? This emergence of AI. I'm gonna go there. But all of these things are kind of snowballing into this giant avalanche of terror for creatives because you're expected to pump out incredible amounts of things for absolutely no security, not enough pay, and just like this level of disposability that is really, really quite scary. And so I have a general disdain for corporations and the things that they're doing right now because it is very dehumanizing. It feels like art is being treated like a means to an end, a means to put more cash in your hands than it is what it is right now, which is the thing that gets us through pandemics, right? Art is literally the shows we watch, the cool pictures we look at. You know, it's the games we play, the music we talk about that connects us with people all across the world. It's the design of software that allows us to talk with friends, like things like Discord, that connects us even though we all live in different countries. That's what keeps us alive. That's what makes us human. That's what makes life worth living right now. And corporations are jeopardizing this in a way that they never have before. And it is hard to talk about Microsoft with the same optimism that we had a couple episodes ago on the podcast because of what's happened. And it makes my heart heavy, man. That's all. That's all.
Yeah, I think very
So
well said.
beautiful.
Stop reading chat while she's giving epic speeches.
I'm just moving and my eyes go.
Keep your eyes here. No, I think it's very well said. I think that, I mean, I don't even need to add on more on that because I think you kind of touched on everything that is the dangers that we need to watch out for. And it's clearly like, we've talked about this on the podcast as well, like immediately when all these layoffs happened, that we came in with so much optimism for the Microsoft merger and they kind of blew it out the water really, really quickly. And I hope that I mean, our heart goes out to the devs and we hope that it gets better. We hope that it gets better, that was maybe the worst that they'll do. Like they came in hard. but it does suck. It has really killed a lot of the momentum that maybe came with, hey, Microsoft's going to make it a lot better than Bobby Kotick, right? Jay, do you have any thoughts about what Fareeha just talked about with like?
No, I completely agree. I just, what do you call it? I didn't like what they did. I don't know the back end, but I don't like seeing all my friends sometimes, get fired. Sucks.
It does suck. And I can only imagine that's doubly so for each of the developers who are like left behind. And,
Yeah.
it's like hard to overstate. I mean, again, I know people will be like, you're shilling because you're inside the Blizzard offices. But when you're inside the Blizzard offices, you get to talk to the devs, you get to see what their sentiment is.
And you get to meet them, yeah.
Right.
Personally, too. It's not just like, them working on a game. You get to actually talk to them.
Right, and you get to see their passion. Like, these guys
Yeah.
are so passionate about the game. Like, I'm like, admired because we play Overwatch and we get super burnt out. Like, I've so many times my love for Overwatch has waned.
True.
And it doesn't ever seem like that for them. No matter how much like shit the community talks, they always seem to be so passionate. And when you see like all these passionate people get laid off, and the survivor's guilt for the people who stay, right? It can't be overstated. Like you see all these people get fired, and you're like, well, why did they get fired and not me? They do such great work. It can really make it hard.
It's arbitrary.
Right.
Yeah.
It can really make it hard to keep doing like authentic creative work, because that's what it is. It's not like a simple like, well, I push this button and this happens. You got to try and create and organically like breathe life into these characters and come up with fun shit that people will enjoy in the context of all of this happening. So it sucks. It's hard. A thought, spare a thought for your Blizzard developers. Okay. Any other thoughts on this kind of the Microsoft aspect of things?
Corporation, sometimes not good.
Sometimes not good.
Yep.
You've kind of swapped roles now. Now the simple sentence from Bogur.
Yep.
Jay, anything else to add?
No, I think you guys basically said everything
Okay.
perfectly.
I'm trying to look at what our
12:34.
how much runtime we've given. I think we can. Do you guys want to go over the patch one time before we call it quits here?
Sure.
Sure.
There's not too much. Production, would it be possible at all to pull up the most recent patch that's come through? Because I don't think any of us have you played?
No.
No.
None of us have managed to play on the patch. So we're
Not
gonna.
yet.
You guys listening right now probably have a better feel of how the patch has actually affected the game. We're gonna go off of our gut instinct though, because there are some very interesting changes. And changes.
Mercy nerfs deserved.
Mercy nerfs.
Finally, Mercy nerfed to
Just
the
just
ground.
delete
Fine.
Mercy.
I agree completely.
Yeah.
Mercy has been oppressive for
We
so
should
long.
have Genji.
The busted Mercy. I mean, that you guys joke about it, but sometimes unironically you'll see those comments in the forums. They're like, "Thank God, Mercy, the most
Yeah,
oppressive character."
I know, it's so stupid.
Okay, yeah. If we can switch over, we'll talk through the changes as
Did they
well.
nerf Genji this patch?
No, that's why.
What?
That's why Overwatch is done. That's why Overwatch is done. If they don't nerf Genji, then it's no point. Sure. One
Okay.
second. We're gonna sort that out. But I think we could already see there the Diva had a bit of a nerf there with her projectile spread. Strong feelings for you? Any strong feelings?
I played a couple tank games this season in ranked. Diva feels very strong. I like her.
Diva sometimes explodes really hard. Like
Yeah.
I've never seen Diva explode this much. It is insane. Like if you made one small mistake on Diva, she just dies because she's like a big bubble.
I feel like I explode faster on Zarya right now.
I think Zarya is just a little bit different playstyle, and I don't think she's that bad.
Maybe.
After talking with Dante, I think Zarya isn't that bad, especially after this patch.
Especially after the minimum damage for the
Right.
beam
As we'll see, they've buffed Zarya there. But
Yes.
how's your experience? Let's sticking to Diva for now. How's your experience been with Diva, Jay?
I don't think she's that. I think she's in a good spot, to be honest with you.
She's fine.
I feel-
I'm sorry for cutting you.
No,
Even
you're
on
good.
Winston, when playing against Diva before, you would die instantly. Right now, I didn't feel like
I
that.
think Winston's actually good. Doesn't
Yeah.
he have like one of his things is that he ignores armor too?
Yep.
Yeah. I
He
think
deals a lot of damage.
I think Diva, Winston right now are really strong. Sigma is good, but I think right now the tank to go to is definitely Wrecking Ball. I think he's-
Yeah.
if you're good at him.
Yeah, I actually don't think Zarya. I think the beams in general, even like with Symmetra, are not even good right now.
Maybe. But again, like what he explained to me was that you can bubble the Discord, even if they Discord somebody else, and then you can be Discord for 7 seconds,
Yeah.
which is insane.
It's like they cleanses you basically.
Yeah.
I think one thing this is highlighting to me is like the dynamic nature of Overwatch, because I did my week on Diva like just a couple weeks before this new patch, and I got coached from Hawk, and Hawk was like, D.Va's just really bad right now, guys. Like he's really like B tier, kind of worse than X tank on poke, worse than X tank on brawl, worse than X tank on dive, and even in the Winston matchup, he was saying like since the Winston buff, it's like she kind of suffers because like you don't shred Winston.
Yeah, you don't.
And Winston provides more for his team because you go in and bubble. That's like a lot more valuable than DMing things. Like it doesn't protect as widely. So it's interesting that like D.Va was in that state a couple weeks ago, and now we come with a patch that doesn't really change too much about D.Va per se, but all of a sudden D.Va now, you're right, it does feel a lot better, a lot more viable. And the same goes for Wrecking Ball, right? Like for so long people have been saying Wrecking Ball kind of shit, like he's not really got a place in Overwatch 2. And then we change a bunch of other things, and Wrecking Ball is great. Production, are we ready to go to D.Va? Okay, so we'll look at the patch now. So we'll head over. So the first one is D.Va. Could we make that a little bit bigger so we could read that as well, please? That would be really awesome, because it's a bit difficult. But
all we see now is chat meowing.
Yeah, we see chat meowing.
What's your Mew streak?
Here we go. So the base projectile size reduced. This is a pretty minor one, so I'll just go good, bad.
Sure.
Yeah, it's
Sure,
whatever.
fine.
It's whatever.
The light gun?
Yeah, it's just
The
it's
gun,
smaller,
yeah.
no?
So that's what I mean. I feel like they buffed all the hitboxes, or the projectile hitboxes, but they're now they're just gonna fine tune it. I think that's
I
good.
agree.
Is your light gun that's
Yeah,
not the
Bunny
blaster?
That's the
Yeah,
Bunny
blaster.
Blaster.
It's Bunny
Oh.
Blaster. It's
Wow.
whatever.
Dang,
It's.
okay.
I don't think it's.
I think it's just to
meaningful.
keep those in line. Can we move on to Roadhog, please, production? Thank you so much. So I think Roadhog, here we go.
40 to
The
50.
damage reduction increased from 40 to 50%. I cry every time Roadhog gets a buff.
Yeah, but it's not meaningful. I feel like.
I want him to stay in the dumps all the
I
time
agree, I
because I
agree.
think the
Hard
game is
agree.
in a terrible spot whenever Roadhog is good.
I agree.
I 100% agree. Sorry, Unsalted Salt. Jay, you might have to do some propaganda.
But I
to
think-
steer
I'm not
duo
sorry.
stage.
I don't think 40 to 50% is. I still
It
think
doesn't really do
Roadhog.
much.
I think if the other team runs an Ana, you're still probably.
You don't need to run on anymore. Like I've
Just
seen
run Zen.
Roadhogs die instantly because of the DPS passive.
The 20% healing.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
really crazy.
Well, the
against
other
it.
problem with Roadhog is that the one shot is not as reliable anymore
Yeah, also
because
that.
the health pool has gone up. So now hooking someone, they've already been trying to move the power away from the hook, and they've done that over progressive patches. But now even more so, hooking someone is like they're probably going to survive, and then you're going to die as Roadhog.
Yeah.
So I think that's the problem for him. But fuck that guy. I don't give a shit.
I think Roadhog just explodes so hard right now. It's crazy.
He does. And I personally would rather see him get. I know they just did a Roadhog rework, but I'd rather he be reworked another way rather than be made viable because I truly believe.
I think he's way too weak right now.
I know that, but I truly believe that when Roadhog is even like remotely good, the game is so ass.
It comes to
feels
a
so
grinding
bad.
halt.
Yeah.
And he also creates this other problem with the whole Ana thing. Like he really highlights the Ana problem because when Roadhog is good, you have to play Ana, and then people complain about Ana and they say like Ana's cooldowns are too broken. And then we get Malga as well, who counters Roadhog, and Malga's the same problem. You need an Ana to counter the Malga. And it just creates this problem where these tanks, we've talked about this on the podcast, but the tanks that don't have ability mitigation, they suffer against this one specific thing, and then we're having to nerf Ana just so that Roadhog is playable. And then Ana, everyone agrees, is actually really good and a fair matchup. And eventually they're going to release something that's like anti-nade that isn't anti-nade, and then what do?
Yep.
Do we nerf that again just so the Roadhog doesn't get hit by it?
Yep.
So they need to make something fundamental about Roadhog rather than keep buffing him into existence, because otherwise we keep ending up in this loop.
The frustration of a Roadhog or like a really good Widow that's uncontested is always that they turn the game into a one pick fights over
Right.
simulator. And it makes the game really, really rough because as other roles, like if you're not the tank and you can't just throw the Sigma shield in his face at the right time, then it's like, what do? You go Mei and try to time your walls really, really well and mess up his hook, right? Or as support, like you go Ana and it just forces your hand a certain way. It forces your hand when the Roadhog's on your team as well. And it doesn't feel good,
No,
right?
I agree. Jay, any propaganda from Salt?
No, I actually agree. I don't think Roadhog is a very fun character. And if you,
I think your win rate says it. You know, the stack with the salt.
Oh,
I think.
yeah.
I think that's the. Yeah.
no, I've been shit talking Salt the whole chat.
When do you not shit talk him?
True.
Yeah.
I feel bad.
I mean, he.
I think the only reason you should feel bad is he's not here to shit talk you back. Because I'm
Yeah.
sure he would be absolutely fine with the shit talking.
He
loves
to
the
dish-
shit talk.
He wants to
man.
dish some out himself.
He loves the shit talk.
Okay, well, let's move on. Then. If we can go back to Zarya now, production, that'd be awesome. So, as you guys have kind of already pointed out, the minimum damage of the primary fire has gone up, and
And the
the
maximum.
maximum damage has gone up. So just double buff, basically.
Yeah. I
So-
think it's a strong buff. I think 20 damage on maximum beam is not small. I think people, if they adjust their playstyle, and Dante is right about what we talked, I think Zarya's gonna be a lot better.
190 damage per second.
Yeah, that's
That's
pretty
like
good.
well,
dead.
I feel like they also needed to increase her damage a little bit because they increase everyone's health.
Yeah, I agree. I don't
So
disagree.
I think
Zarya is a sleeper pick. I'll be honest.
And good on certain maps as well. Like I think the problem with Zarya always suffers is, like certain maps she's not really good.
Yeah.
But then other maps she's really good.
Well,
Okay.
The King's Rosaria.
The King's Rosa, yeah. And like sometimes she's really oppressive. Like in those situations when you can't avoid her, she's really oppressive. Okay. Now let's move on to Hanzo. So the
Hanzo.
base projectile size reduced, and the total projectile size is now 0.175 meters. Basically,
whatever.
smaller arrow,
yeah.
which feels a bit harsh because I think most people have said that Hanzo is not great right now.
I don't
But
think Hanzo's
Outergear
I
is
think
just
Hanzo's
crying in the
horrible.
club.
Well, I think it's also because of that DPS passive, yeah. I don't
I think
think
there's a lot
Hanzo's
of
good.
things. He can't one-shot, you know, the DPS passive doesn't affect him. Dive is meta, so he dies every fight. There's a lot of things.
but once again, my biased personal agenda is fuck Hanzo. I don't give a shit. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's go next.
Junkrat.
I hate Junkrat.
So it seems
Same.
like, so this was another one I can speak to a little bit because I did my 1 week of Junkrat before this Season 9 patch came in, and I got coached from Jake, and Jake was like, if this patch goes through, Junkrat, dog shit character, absolutely unplayable, like awful, because his whole play style is based around his one-shot combo, right? The primary into the conk. It seems the developer's answer is kind of like more conks equals better Junkrat. But I don't know that much about Junkrat to still say if this is
He
good or
still
not.
can't one-shot, right?
No, I don't
Yeah.
think so.
No.
But, well, it looks like so 120 plus 55.
No,
minimum.
that's not it. That's minimum and maximum.
Oh, minimum. You're right. You're right.
So his
120.
maximum 120 if he hits, plus his left click is 120, or how
So
much?
it's
think-
240.
And the-
left with
240, you don't
yeah.
one-shot
The
still.
explosive
Which I
bows
think is
are
good.
110.
Yeah, it's fine.
I think
yeah.
Junkrat is a dumb character.
Yeah, so 245. So
I don't think it makes him OP or anything. I think he's
Yeah.
still a horrible pick.
Yeah,
But better. It's better.
It's
Slightly.
better, but still garbage.
Yeah.
It's better, but again, a fundamental problem that Junkrat suffers with. He's just not built for.
Okay, one thing about Junkrat, his ult is horrible right now. I've not seen a single Junkrat tire kill.
Oh, I've seen
don't
it.
know.
I
I've seen
haven't.
some.
I played in I've played the U, tire dies instantly because the projectile
It does
size.
die a lot. It does die a lot.
It
I
is
will-
crazy how fast it dies. I think they should increase the HP of it.
Oh, they changed.
Yeah, I think they could
It's
do.
true.
To
increase-
150. I think it's fine.
Okay. Moving on to Soldier then. So the smaller projectile for him as well, the smaller hitbox. So,
Good Soldier was busted.
yeah.
So what does
Soldier's
this?
busted.
Does this basically put him like pre-buff, or is it?
I don't know.
I think so, roughly something a little bit bigger, I think,
Bigger still.
but not
Still,
as big.
still a little bigger, but not as big.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. Okay, so you guys feel like Soldier was a bit overtuned, so this is
No,
fair.
I think it was a bit too strong.
Oh,
No,
right.
his like risk versus reward was so skewed compared to like literally every other DPS.
Right.
Yeah.
He's very consistent, and that's what I like about Soldier.
I don't
Yeah.
think he was OP, I'll be honest. I think he
No,
was
he's
just like, you
consistent.
could pick him everywhere. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the DPS passive really benefited him, right? It's like
Yeah.
you can just keep
Yeah.
tagging people with it constantly.
Yeah.
So okay, I think probably fair though. Like bring it down a
Bring
little
it
bit.
down a bit.
Yeah, it's fine.
Bring it down. Okay, let's move on to Tracer and Bogur. I know you are on the Tracer crusade.
This, just whatever.
So the minimum fall off range reduced. So basically, he has to play a little bit closer, I guess.
Yeah, it's,
I think
it
that's
should-
fine.
It doesn't.
As a Tracer
Yeah,
player,
it's
too.
fine, but it doesn't change much. She's still gonna be meta.
He's still gonna be meta. I mean, she's been meta a lot.
Leave Tracer players alone.
No, I'm not leaving Tracer players alone. Okay.
Go play your Life Weaver, bro.
Now I'm playing my life Weaver.
Okay, well let's move on to Widowmaker then. Widowmaker, so a smaller hitbox for the primary fire or the scope shot, and then the scope damage fall off range increased from 40 to 60 to 50 to 70 meters. So I think
So
shoots
fall
from further away.
yeah.
basically.
Her projectile was way too high, like too big. She would like I've seen so
It's
many
insane.
headshots. Yeah.
Yeah. So being smaller, but like not as what I guess what we said before, not as what it used to be, but still a little bigger. I think it's pretty good, and I actually like the 50 to 70 meters.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna see a lot more widows actually.
I mean, I've seen a lot of widows.
Yeah, especially before this change. I played Widow a lot.
I thought Widowmaker would be bad season 9, but that was wrong. That was really wrong.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, being able to one-shot a lot of characters with
Yeah, but I
more
thought
generous-
like you wouldn't be able to one-shot as consistently, and then the DPS passive. But turns out she's the only character that can one-shot, so she's pretty good.
Which I'm curious for your thoughts on, because you kind of highlighted Widowmaker as this problem character. Does,
I always thought that the Hanzo Widowmaker matchup was skewed to favor Hanzo significantly. Because by nature, like if he's pointing his bow at you, his arm is covering his face,
Right.
like for a large part. And it's also like the projectile, and it's a bigger log, so it was always skewed against Widowmaker heavily to favor Hanzo. And I'm like, I think it's good. I think it's good that she has the one-shot capability.
Yeah, you think it's fair?
good.
I think it's fine enough.
Yeah, I don't mind it existing. I just like, as long as she's not sitting 2,000 miles away, it's okay.
And that always comes down to the problem with Widowmaker, right? It's like we want the, if she's not got a one-shot, what's the point?
She should have range, but not all of it.
Okay, so before J3 goes tomato, we
I'm gonna
can.
go to the bathroom.
Yeah, well.
I'm gonna go piss Max.
Okay, go ahead.
Make sure to turn off your mic.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't wanna
gonna.
hear that.
Yeah, we don't want to hear that shit.
Do I leave it here? Or can I turn it off?
I think just hold the red button until it
Oh, you
turns
can
off.
turn it off.
You just leave it there.
I mean, if they want to listen to me, it's fine. I don't mind.
I will go on a limb here and say most of chat does not want to hear UP.
I'm sure they
And
will.
and, Jody's shaking her head vociferously in the
I
back.
don't want to be
so.
talking about Tracer and then hear chat hears.
Okay, J3's contribution to this podcast will not bring him back anytime soon.
What?
But
Come on, man.
let's
J3 needs some more fiber. Or I guess Bogur does in your
Bogur needs more
hypothetical.
fiber.
That's both.
I get my 5 a day. Like, okay,
Come
so
on, man.
let's head to concluding thoughts. Then Bogur can come back and kind of give us his POV. But season 9, I think, kind of surprising that, or not surprising, but unique in that it's a season without a hero that still received so well.
There's still some characters if you want to do it.
Oh, there's more. Oh, I'm sorry. Can we check the more characters? Sorry, I completely forgot. There's more. Supports your favorites, J3.
I think Alari needed a buff. I don't think she was very
Same.
good right now. So the Captive Sun actually does scare me. The Sunstruck explosion damage increased from 100 to 160. That's a little scary. But I
Yeah.
guess with the overall health change, I guess it makes sense. But I think 160 is a little too much. And the healing pylon cooldown decreased from 8 to 6 seconds. I feel like she kind of needed that. And cooldown when destroyed by enemies decreased from 15 to 12.
Right.
Yeah, I think she needed it. I don't think she was a good pick right now.
And-
I actually rarely saw Laris in my games.
Yeah,
Rarely.
I do think a lot of it comes down to just the style of the game at the moment, though. Like, it's just very dive favored, and Iliari's like pylon sitting there is
Yeah.
It's not very good against that.
no. So I do wonder if this is one of those situations, because before this Iliari was pretty good, and I wonder if this is one of those situations where should that dive move away, then Iliari goes back to being very strong.
She was really dominating a lot before this, like ever since her release. I'm okay with her just like taking a little bit of a backseat
Yeah.
for now. It's fine.
Plus, she's a DPS healer. I don't like it.
Which obviously that's
Do your
that sticks
job
to your
and
pet
heal,
peeve.
not just your pylon.
And I mean, they buffed the pylon there and the ult, so it's not really like the mid-fight Iliari is significantly better. Like the damage part of it isn't significantly better. It's that I guess she has a bit more healing or a bit more reliable healing. Because again, none of that would even matter if your pylon doesn't get broken. If you actually
True.
play your pylon correctly, this doesn't change anything. It's more for the people who are getting their pylon broken, and then the ult is doing more. So it's interesting that this feels like a. I mean, I'm not particularly against it, but it feels like a little bit of a power creepy change where maybe it doesn't change whether she's played now, but later down the line we'll feel the effects of like, oh, the pylon just always has so much uptime even though I killed it.
True.
Or the explosion is crazy now. So we'll see. I guess we keep an eye on that
What are
one.
we talking about?
Iliari.
Lari?
Do you have any thoughts on the Iliari changes?
I like him. Larry was kind of bad. I think she was really bad actually. So I think she didn't do enough damage and she didn't heal enough, so she kind of struggled. So I like the changes. I think Larry being good is good. I think she's a fun character. It's fun to play.
Fair enough. All right, let's over to Lucio then. So Lucio's projectile size reduced as well. So as they said, they were going to try to touch up some of the hitboxes so that some of the
which I think is a
outliers-
good thing. Especially, it's only been a week or two since the patch. I think they're going great speed.
Yeah, this is usually the complaints is that they take too long to change problematic things, so they've gone at it right away.
Yeah.
Fareeha, any thoughts on Lucio?
Change good.
Change good. Bogur, you feel refreshed?
He did
Lucio, what is the?
Just the
hitbox.
projectile
He had,
size.
he
I
had a
don't-
huge hitbox.
It was really big. It was actually bigger than the body of Tracer.
Yeah,
It was
it was
actually
insane.
funny. So yeah.
Okay, let's go over to Mercy then for another similar hitbox reduction.
Oh, that is a good nerf right there.
That's a good- that's a good change.
That's a good change right there. Mercy finally nerfed to the ground. She was way too oppressive with her pistol. It is
Clearly.
crazy.
I mean, you know this, Bogur, someone who exclusively pistol
2k
Mercy.
damage average top 500. You know my Mercy stats? 2,000 damage average per 10 at top
So
500.
no one. You are the support player that I hate.
Yes, you are. I played Skiesti tournament and I was playing Mercy. I had 7,000 damage, 25 kills.
Oh my god.
Did you win?
Yeah, I won them up.
Did you win like overall?
No, we didn't
Okay,
win
good.
overall.
I'm glad.
Yeah,
No. 7,000 damage is insane. Dude.
Yep.
that is a lot.
That's nuts.
But you're on the perma avoid for
I am.
J3. Okay, we'll over to Zenyatta, and I think this is the last one. I think we're on to the last change now. Is base health reduced and the kick knockback decreased. So we kind of already talked about this a little
Yeah,
bit, but
I think that's good changes.
I think it's really good.
W.
That's what I wanted. Because, like, as I said, he's supposed to be a glass cannon, but he's not a glass cannon. He's just a cannon.
There
Right.
should be risk for the reward. And
I
right
agree.
now there's
True,
too
I
much
agree.
reward.
There is
No.
no risk playing Zen. I think he has a
When-
boop and damage.
When
and
you
heal.
select Zen, you are announcing to the entire enemy team, I think I am better. And sometimes that's the thrill of it, right? Of like, I will kill the flankers, or like, I simply will survive. Like, fuck you, Winston, right? And that's part of the fun, but you should still die sometimes.
Sometimes, guys, it's okay to die sometimes.
It should not be that frame of like the Jonak Zen with the freaking 550
Oh my
HP
goodness.
and the
Oh my
barcode
goodness.
health.
Imagine the Torb armor packs now and the Symmetra
Oh.
shield
That
on
would
the
be
top
funny.
2 of the 250,
That would be
275.
Yeah.
With the Junker Queen shout.
Oh my,
Oh my god,
goodness.
the dark days.
I think I tested how much HP max you can have. Raleigh, Life Weaver 3.
HP maxing.
Yeah, HP maxing. Junker Queen's Shout. Anything else? Torbjorn. Okay, Torbjorn gives himself HP. Brego, Life Weaver 3, Junker Queen Shout. And I think that's it. I think
Yeah.
nothing
Don't have
else.
anything
It's
on
like
DPS.
600 HP. It's funny.
Ooh.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. Oh, that was before the health buff. Anyways. sorry.
Right, that was before. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will now head back to where we were before I realized that there was more things to talk about, which is that season 9. You know, we haven't had a new hero, but it's been really well received. I think, at least certainly by us, the content creators here. We've all, I think, been talking and we were like, yeah, feels really fun. We're really enjoying playing Overwatch again. I see a lot of my community has really enjoyed it. So, what do you want to see for the rest of the season now? Like, how do we keep this momentum going? How do we keep Overwatch happy? And then presumably season 10, we're going to get another hero again. So how do they make sure they don't fuck that up? So your thoughts, concluding thoughts on, rest of the season and eye to season 10. I'll go with Bogur first.
I think season 9 is just going to keep being fun because people are grinding, to champion, right?
Yeah.
So people are going to... I think the fact that they added a good rank system means that people have something to play, because before it's just wait for new content, then you play the new hero and then you get bored. But now everyone's focused on grinding, so I'm not too worried about it. I think, like, again, as with the stacking stuff, I think if they change that, I know what else they could add for a patch, a good patch, mid-season patch. I think if they add a new mid-season patch that's like shakes things up a bit, like if they take a risk, like a little bit, like they don't, just change something up, shake it up a bit, right? I think that'll be good. Because this patch was big, it made things really fun. Not as big, obviously, but some changes. And for the new hero, I think don't release them like Life Weaver. Awesome. And not like Mauga. Maybe somewhere in the middle, right?
Somewhere in the middle.
No, somewhere in the middle, yeah.
I think new characters should be strong.
I
because
agree. I
everyone's-
agree, because people want to play it, have
Yeah,
fun.
I think Lifeweaver was a good example of a character shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
Because people are excited, people want to play it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I do think that they definitely don't want a Malga situation. I think I don't know if it's worse to have a character that's so busted everyone hates it, or versus someone like so underwhelming. So I feel like it's easier to improve the reputation of a character than to like bring it back once it's like everyone hates it. Like it's easier for it to be like, oh, Lifeweaver's weak, and eventually you buff him a little bit and people play him, rather than like, oh, I fucking hate Malga, I'm not gonna play Overwatch. Although it's the timing of it was a factor, which is that they
Lifeweaver was way too weak, first
He
of
was
all.
way too
And
weak.
second of all, I agree with you, because people still think Malga is broken, which makes my brain cells hurt, because like Malga is not that broken. And people was like, Lori is like, Malga is busted, nerf him more. It's like, please don't nerf Malga
Just
more.
stop
Right.
shooting the tank. Just stop
Right.
shooting the tank.
Yeah.
and then like obviously the timing of it was unfortunate because they went off to holiday after releasing
Yeah, I
Malga.
think that was the only bad thing. They buffed Malga on the day of release into comp.
Right.
That was
Merry
the bad
Christmas.
thing.
Yeah. So it felt oppressive for long.
Yeah.
Whereas, yeah, like if the hero is kind of in the middle somewhere, that would be ideal. I also think, like to your point, Bogur, before we move on to the others, my hot take is that actually want them to shake it up. I think it's actually fine as it is right now this season. We've got a new hero coming up in season 10 anyways.
Well, I don't want Tracer Meta for the next 2-3 months.
See,
Okay.
that goes back to me saying like Goats Meta was a lot of fun, but it wasn't fun for 11 months.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
that's-
Goats Meta for a season was fun, and
I
it's
agree,
just
I
one
That's what I
season.
mean.
Yeah, so I think like it will change when the new hero launches. It always does. Like something
Yeah.
will change. So I'm okay with them holding off because I don't want the. I'm just worried because they could do it well. They could do a shake up well. I'm just worried that mid-season Hog Giga buffed or something, and then we're like,
Fuck yeah, yeah.
we're miserable for the rest of the season. And I'd rather just keep the goodwill that they've got from this season, where
More
everyone's
mercy
like,
nerfs.
happy and enjoying dive and whatnot.
True.
And then we'll take it from season 10. I'll take it to Jay first, and Fareeha can round us off.
What was the question again?
Just what you want to see for the rest of season 9 and any
Oh, yeah.
eye to season 10.
So that goes back to what I was just saying. Like I like a season having its own unique identity. Like I go back to Goats because Goats was so fun, but it wasn't fun for how long it lasted. So if it was like a season like that, if the mid-season I don't want the mid-season patch to shake things so much where it's not the same as it is right
Yeah,
now.
I didn't want it to shake things so it's not the same. Just make something like different, like a little bit. like,
I
well-
think a little bit is fine, but not too much.
Yeah, I agree. No, yeah, I don't want it too much.
But-
It's a mid-season patch.
If they keep going the direction that they are going and like changing things, like I really like how they changed these hitboxes in this patch so fast when the new season hit. So they're going in a good direction. I used to think they were going like 1 step forward, 2 steps back. So now I think it's actually 2 steps forward.
Yeah,
That's okay.
I think that I was also deeply skeptical in the lead up to this. Like,
Yes,
the-
you could watch everyone knows before this actually happened, I was like, this does not sound good. I think this is lazy. But when I actually played it, I think it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of
yeah,
fun.
and it's like we gotta hold our hands up when we get those like
Yeah,
predictions
you
wrong.
can't-
Right? It's like
Can't judge a book by its cover, and you actually have to play it to actually understand it. And it's a lot of fun.
right, and I think that this has definitely been for me a sort of renewing in the faith of the balancing of the game, because up until now it was like I'm not sure what they're cooking. Like I don't really trust them to steer the wheel.
Yeah.
But I think big kudos to, I think it was Josh No's brainchild to kind of really change up the health pools and stuff. And it's really worked. Like it feels a lot better. Like Overwatch feels a lot more fun. So long may that continue. And please don't buff Roadhog. Please don't. Please
Delete
don't make
Doomfist.
Overwatch miserable again.
We need to fix the Doomfist bugs.
No, delete
for
Doomfist.
sure.
I saw Get Quake.
Oh, yeah,
Delete
yeah,
Doomfist.
Doomfist bugs.
Okay, so Fareeha, how about yourself? How do you feel about the rest of the season? What do you want to see? And like an eye to season 10.
This season came with like the bravest set of changes we've seen since like Overwatch 2, since like 5v5. And I think that it takes a lot of guts to be like, okay, we're going to fundamentally change the way that our game is played, and we're going to change all the breakpoints. We're going to change like your health bars. Everything is going to be changed, but for the better. And for them to do that is such a good thing, because I don't care if some heroes busted. I don't mind if they overstep or overtune something, as long as they're changing and reiterating. Like I know that it's not reasonable to expect a new patch every single week, like the one we just got, right? But the fact that they're so receptive to community feedback and they're always watching, it's so helpful, right? Because that's the stuff that prevents it from getting really stale. That's the stuff that prevents things like Goats from happening again, running on for 18 months, right? That's the stuff that stops like the 2-year-long slog of Double Shield, Sigma Orisa. And if we have this constant state of iteration, it's like, okay, Zen's good this week, okay, but what about next one? What if Idiati is all of a sudden really, really good? What if, yeah.
You can't change things too fast, though.
Yeah, I don't.
You
think-
Let
can't
it
take
sit a
too
little bit.
long. Yeah, you can't take too long. You can't take too fast. Cause
Yeah.
it's jarring when it's too fast, and it's boring when it's too late. Yeah.
You want the
agree.
Goldilocks zone, not too
Yeah.
hot, not too cold,
Yeah.
just right.
Yeah, exactly. It's not
But
easy.
always moving is a good thing.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think always moving is a good thing, but also learning to recognize when you've created a state that's actually good, and like let it sit for let it breathe for a bit, because that was people's complaints with the Overwatch 1, that one patch in October or whatever it was, when they made a great patch and Seagull made the video saying that
Yeah, I was
Overwatch
just going to
great.
mention that. There was a season 1 Overwatch 1 patch where it felt amazing, and then they ruined it shortly after.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
like immediately changed it and all the goodwill went. So
Yeah.
hopefully they I'm gonna open my heart up again and hope that they don't do that again. And we'll believe that they keep it 100, keep it good. And I think from my personal POV, I think also I would like to see just keep it going. Just maybe tweak a few of the worst performing heroes. Like if you want to tweak Reinhardt in some way or something, that's fine. I refuse Roadhog, but like whatever you want to buff Hanzo a little bit, that's okay. I'll accept that much. But overall, keep this momentum going. Maybe drop some fun little thing in the mid-season, like a lover watch or something. But then eyes on season 10. Make sure the new hero launch is good. Make sure they're kind of in the middle again, slightly overtuned, as they say, the safe side is strong. That's fine with me. Slightly overtuned. It's going to shake up the meta somehow, and so bear that in mind and tune. And I'm a happy guy. Just keep going in this direction of encouraging stacking. So I want to play with my friends, want to play with my homies.
True.
And keep working with Face It. And let's get these tournaments going for like plat players and in the client if we can at some point.
True.
Yep.
I like that.
Okay. Any other thoughts from you guys?
Can I get 5 gifted?
Can SVB get 5 gifted?
Can we get
Can
5
SCB
gifted?
get 5
Can
gifts?
we get 5 gifted for SVB?
Can we help with the Partner Plus? Actually,
Yeah, can
tier
we
1,
help?
tier
Yeah,
2,
Tier
Chad,
ones?
can we get 5 gifted or you're banned?
tier ones. If SVB gets Partner Plus, me and Jay we make a calendar. Like one
Yeah.
of those firefighter
Banana
calendars,
hammock.
shirtless.
Wait,
The
what?
flex
Wait,
ring.
didn't they say we're
flex.
gonna oil up and do some wrestling?
Oh yeah, well you missed it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
When was this?
Just before,
Yeah,
actually, just before we
Bogur
went
and
live,
I-
that's why he's glistening.
Bogur and I
Man.
already recorded the mud wrestling, so
Yes, we
we
did,
just gotta.
guys.
If we get 5 gifted, we'll post
flight
it.
got
We're
delayed.
releasing.
Okay, well, I think that's it from me. Then I'm going to sign off. So thank you so much for everyone who has joined me today, Jay3, Fareeha,
Thank
and
you.
Bogur. And thank
In
you.
production.
And yeah, I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it.
Sorry.
And thank you to the viewers for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed the first ever live episode of the Group Up podcast. It's been awesome. I think
Yeah.
it's a really different
It was really fun.
feel.
Like pulling up stuff.
What's
on
this
the
rock,
screen.
paper,
Yeah,
scissors
and
stuff?
that's what will lead to production. So they've done an incredible job here because to be able to pull stuff up and have it highlight on screen, even random Twitter shit. So really big shout out to you. Thank you for helping us so
The
much.
GOAT.
The goat over there. And yeah, thank you to Jody, the community manager here, and Blizzard who gave us the chance to do this live.
No.
And I hope you guys have enjoyed. So thank you for tuning in. We'll be back soon enough. But from now, here from Irvine, California, peace out.
Bye.